Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time again. Episode number 143 of From the Sidelines. It's been a couple weeks, but tonight it's just the girls. We're going to kick on back. We're going to talk about the layout. We're going to talk about Atlantic City coming up. And we're going to talk about a whole bunch of other shit too. That's why you showed up to From the Sidelines. We're happy to be back. With me are my co-hosts, as every week, Stephen Hatch. What is going on, my man?
Oh man, dude, so much stuff has happened this past week. One, happy Easter, late Easter, I guess. So blessed to be around.
We're a week late almost at this point. We're recording late in the week. It's not a Tuesday night that we're recording. It's weird. We're off our game. I'm messing up the words already. So yeah, it's not a good omen for the show.
It's good to be back, though.
Let's turn this around with our boy Brando Baird, who is the reason we're recording on a Thursday night. Brandon.
Hey, I had to go get a tan, honestly. I had to go sit in Mexico for a little bit, get a tan, some with a strawberry daiquiri in my hand. And
that's one of the most upper middle class things I've ever heard you say.
Thank you, Thank you.
You've made it, dog.
That's the most I'm ever going to be. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The rest is going back into paintball the rest of the year, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, hey, good man. You enjoyed your couple minutes. It was your anniversary, right? It wasn't just just go for no reason.
Yeah, no, it was. We have a timeshare, so they do a meeting.
Okay, upper middle class, lower and high class.
Look. It's not expensive. It's not that expensive.
It's a timeshare. Did you have to sit through a meeting for that one? Did you guys go to the thing?
We did.
You did? They got you? Okay. All right. So we're starting the show with this, Brandon. What was the timeshare presentation?
No.
Yeah, welcome to From the Sidelines, a paintball podcast, by the way.
Yeah, I want to see it now.
So this is like we're owners of it. We have been for 4 years, but every year they want you to attend a meeting, like a update meeting, and try to sell you more. Yeah, and he's gone.
Yeah, we're 4 minutes into the show, by the way.
And it's just a way of them trying to sell you more. And the stay's free. You just got to get yourself out there. So we went. We were able to schedule it for our anniversary, 1 year anniversary of being married. So
okay, so you don't own a timeshare. This was someone trying to sell you one with a free trip, and you just took advantage of the trip.
No, we own it.
No, so I was trying to bail you out there, but you didn't take that at all. That's your own damn
absolutely
fault.
not. I own that shit.
Hell yeah! You own the whole building? Yeah, that's the Brando estate.
That's me. That's mine.
Is that your town of Mexico? You've gone down there. You work with the cartel now.
Yeah, no, they work for me. I don't work with them. They work for me.
Goddamn right, sir. Salute.
Thank you for your service, bro.
Well, gentlemen, we've already talked way too long without going into our sponsors, so we gotta do that. It is legally obligated. Liquid IV, we love them though. They are the great hydration multiplier we use here on the show. Guys, they've got all of their options available on their website. We mention it every week, but if you haven't been there a while, go check it out because there are some new things on there. There's more sugar-free options, the sugar options, the immunity booster. There's a sleep support like hydration multiplier. I've wanted to try one of those recently because it's been hot as fuck in Texas and sleep has not been easy. But Liquid IV, it's always there for you whenever you need it. Throw some in your bag, whether you're at the paintball field. Remember, you're at work. It is starting to become summer. It's good just to get some extra hydration in there. You're going to be sweating a lot more, so make sure you're replenishing it with Liquid IV. Promo code Mafia_Moffitt is going to get you 20% off and free shipping at their website. Next up, we got NECTR at NECTR.energy, but NECTR Energy, the awesome energy pouch we use over here on the show, whether we're either recording the pod or trying to get somewhere, because it's really good if you're driving. It's got it's like 30 to 40 milligrams of caffeine in each pouch, but the big thing in it is caffeine acetylcholine, which I think is how you pronounce it, or cognizine acetylcholine, not caffeine. Nice. Which is a neurotropic, which gets your brain hyped up, ready to go, focused on the topic, the task at hand. And we love using it over here. It's no secret. NECTR.energy, that's the website we're going to head over to get some more information from them. Check out all their flavors online. Promo code MafiaProductions, all one word together, MafiaProductions. Throw 3 cans in your cart. You're going to be getting 1 for free. So try out a couple different flavors at your first order over at NECTR.energy. And then last but not least, Welts Clothing. Brandon, without further ado, get that ugly fucking Giants hat out of here.
Damn.
That's upset. A lot better. There it is. Keep struggling, baby, because weltsclothing.com is where you're going to head over to get all your information about Welts Clothing. Some awesome dudes down here in Texas who do pretty great things for the community and also deliver some awesome pieces of merchandise. And they deliver a limited edition piece at the beginning of every month. The first Wednesday of every month is Welts Wednesday. So make sure you head over to their website on Welts Wednesday because whatever it is, it sells out quick. I think their last drop went in like 10 minutes. So make sure you head over to the website, weltsclothing.com. Use promo code FTS. Save yourself some money over there at checkout. And yeah, we appreciate their support over here on the show. They've been with us for a while now, so shout out to Scott Stewart and the boys over there at Welts. All right, I did it, guys. I feel like that was a fairly clean ad read segment tonight. Most people skip through those, but that's fine. You know, hey, what's up? Welcome back. If you just hit the 30 seconds a couple times, appreciate you guys. Let's get right into it, boys. Let's talk about the AC, AC event. It's coming up. It's pretty soon here. Do you guys have practice this weekend? I'm guessing.
Yep.
If you didn't, I'd be a little disappointed.
No, we do, and we just we had practice against Impact this past weekend, so definitely some grinders.
That Easter weekend practice, I filmed that one a couple years ago for the DMG boys, but yeah, that's always a good one with Impact.
Yeah, and Brando, how was Sunday for Yins?
Sunday was cool. I
asked Hatch how it went, and he's like, "It went good." Brandon, how did it go?
I'm just trying to make sure.
Yeah, not all of us were there for Saturday
I had to
and Sunday.
go home. I was there on Saturday. I had to go home to take care of my grandparents, and so I missed Sunday, sadly.
So you could have talked about Saturday, but okay.
Yeah, I missed Saturday, went there Sunday, so we didn't have the whole team.
Ships in the night. You guys didn't even see each other.
Yeah.
Sadly, no. It broke my heart, but
no jerk offs in the porta potty.
Overall, I love playing against Impact. Sorry, my bad.
Tell ya, I don't think you heard what I said before that, but that's okay. We're gonna keep moving forward. Let's start with Hatch because you were there Saturday, and then we can move to Brando. You were there Sunday. Chronological order makes the most sense here, boys. We are not Tarantino. So Hatch, how was that Saturday practice versus Impact?
Oh, it was definitely fun. We didn't have the whole team there because obviously the Easter weekend, right? So we were supposed to play them the weekend before, but then dates got switched around to where now we're playing it on the Easter weekend. Some people already had things where they had to commit to, right? So, right, everybody has their life. So we had 6 people on Saturday, and dude, so it was a great grinder of a weekend for sure for me on Saturday. So playing every single point, it was just so much fun. And playing against Impact, dude, you learn so much.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Hatch. Just before we started recording, Brandon got a knock at his house. I have a baby crying outside my house now. I don't know what the fuck is going on with our respective places tonight. But yeah, wait, what did you ask, Hatch?
Was that knock at your house?
No, the
knock was at Brandon's, but I have a fucking baby outside crying for some reason at goddamn
open the door,
9:30.
Open the door and say, "Shut up."
No, I'm not doing that. But yeah, boys. So Saturday, it was good. I mean, anytime you get to practice one of the best teams in the world, you're always going to learn some shit. How do you feel like it went? Obviously, not counting who's trying to win practice, but how do you feel like it went from a competitive standpoint? Do you think there was some competition there?
Absolutely. I would never say I mean, there was maybe out of the entire day, maybe one where it was a complete blowout where we tried to play that just did not work and they just fucked us up, And but every single point was a grinder, and obviously those guys are the echelon of what excellence is in the sport of paintball, right? And they work very hard for it. They know they've been in those situations so many times. They know how to execute, right? So there were a lot of times where it came down to 3-on-3 and they were just making excellent moves to where making perfect moves to where we couldn't see it, and then boom, crucial kill, dominoes fall, they executed the point and finish it, right? So they're very good about that.
Yeah, I mean, well, and it gets to that point with, you can break down any layout you want, but once you get to that 3v3, time in the point where it gets to that point, it's just experience at that point. And when you're playing against some guys who've been playing, literally 20 years of their life at this, stage, it's, it's difficult to win those. But I bet you guys learn a lot from those. You are able to pick up on why are they doing those things. It's not always fun to learn it that way, but it does show you firsthand some of the ways that you need to improve.
Absolutely. And Brando, did you play for Sunday? What field did you play on? Did you play on?
We played on
the
other
2 different
one.
layouts. Okay,
yeah, we played on field 1.
So on Saturday we played on field 2, which was blind layout for us, right? Blind layout for both teams. So we're both walking the field, and that was the Portugal layout, if I am correct. And the one on field 1, I think, was the most recent USXBL layout, I think, or something like that.
Opposite. You guys played the
Opposite.
USXBL, yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you for correction.
Oh, okay. So I actually know that.
Right. So it was a great experience because we're learning blind layouts. Basically, just the rawness of paintball, testing our skills. Straight iron on iron grinding against impact on a blind layout. Tons of fun, right? I think they had everybody except for JC.
Yeah.
I think that was
So
it. Yeah.
Okay. I always feel bad because I always get their names mixed up. Is Zach or
Zach's
Zane
on the roster
still
right
playing
now.
this year?
Zane, I'm pretty sure he's more staff now, right?
Yeah,
But he was
Zane's
not
the
there.
older brother, right? He's the
Younger.
more
He's the
coach
young- he's the
guy
younger
now.
one.
Yeah.
But the younger
okay.
one is the coach.
I feel bad because I've never. Whenever I was first introduced to him, it was Zach and Zane Yakubek, so it was always like hard to get the two,
double
like,
Z's, bro.
Which
figured
one's
out.
which?
Yeah, exactly, because I never was able to like get one individual. But yeah, so okay, so one of the Canadians couldn't make it, but I mean the rest of the roster's there. Pretty damn good team.
Absolutely complete grinder of a weekend. And honestly, one thing that was really cool is the divisional team that's around us, Sacramento Pink, they also got spins against Impact, so that was huge
That's
for them.
cool. I like when Dave does that.
Right, and I love that, right? And that's one thing that we want to iterate, where, especially with us, where we didn't really have that much when we were the divisional team, right? We would be like, all right, hey, they're tired, come over and play the last 2 points of the day, Now, like, when we started getting up there in D3, they were like, all right, you are the backup line for DMG with the pro squad. And now we would love to try to do that with Pink, to where like they are, the team that is right up in that rotation with us at Capital Edge, because they are turning into a spectacular team for sure. And I
Yeah,
don't know how
they
do
fucking
it.
play a lot of paintball.
Absolutely.
It's weird how that works, right?
And I think that they have a very good chemistry on that team that reminds me very much of our team for sure. Right? This just hanging out, listen to some music after practice, the vibes. Eating food together. And overall, I would say it was an incredibly productive weekend. I think we gave Impact some really good looks to where they didn't just straight slaughter us. There were times. I mean, I definitely got some tons of kills and definitely got shot a lot. Right? So it was overall a good weekend. So I would say, realistically, probably the best practice in a couple months, honestly, for me at least. And plus,
That's good.
Just fresh
Good
off
use
that
of the time,
injury,
then.
right? Just fresh off that injury, right? So last weekend, not this past weekend, but the last weekend was when I was testing it out. I'm playing a couple points, testing it out, putting some weight on it, and then this was the weekend where I was like, all right, fuck it, now I'm gonna full send, and it felt I felt really confident.
You
on
really
my ankle,
put it through the ringer.
for sure, right? And playing Impact a ton of points that day, was on it constantly, so I feel good.
Tonight is a night I'm glad we're using Riverside. You guys are so choppy for me right now, but I know for our audience, they are perfect and clean because of the magic of the software we use. But yes, no, I do like to hear that. Sounds like it was a great practice for you, Hatch. Brandon, let's get your perspective on it. You came in on that Sunday.
I did. As he said, we played the other field, the Portugal layout, and we were missing Hatch and Paul.
Well, hold up. Hold the fuck up. Hatch, put that back up. What did you just pull out on the podcast?
It's a Capri Sun, bro. You don't drink Capri Sun? Yo, we've been through this, bro.
I'm not hating. I just haven't pulled one out on the pod. I haven't been like, yeah, that's a good point.
No, I've done it multiple times. This is like my
Have I
fourth time
missed
doing
it?
No, I'm pretty sure you've addressed it.
Okay,
No,
well, because
you don't.
every time it's gonna get me, bro. Because you're
Yeah.
a 4-year-old child with your Capri Sun on this adult
First of all-
podcast we
First
do.
of all, let me just say, people are just afraid to admit it. Now all of us are just grown kids that obviously we grew up during the recession, boys. Nobody had motherfucking money, so now that we got adult money, we're getting the shit that we couldn't have when we were young.
This
look
sits
at
in
this
front
guy.
of me, all right?
Decisions.
I can't talk, all right? So
Decisions. So
Fair point.
Capri Sun, great podcast drink. Let me just say.
you
Not
go
as
through
good
it
as Liquid
like
IV,
two
though.
topics, though.
Sorry, my bad.
All right, whatever. Sorry, Brandon, we cut you off. My bad.
Sun,
I always feel bad. We cut off you, especially.
No,
so
it's-
please talk.
It's funny. So, we were missing Hatch, Caden, and Paul for the Sunday. I think we ended up with 7 of us. 7 of us on Sunday. Chim didn't want me playing as much because I'm not going to Atlantic City, so he wanted the guys to work on their communication as if I'm not going to be there, right?
Yeah, who are actively going to be at the event.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So, and completely made sense. I stepped
back,
in when
buddy.
I needed to. So,
If someone needs a breather, make sure we can all get reps. But yeah, focus on the guys who are gonna be at the tournament.
Yeah. So overall, it was good. Learning experience, as we've said before.
Could you break that down more? How did you learn against Impact?
No,
I'm being facetious. Please don't. Thank you.
No, it just again showing where our holes in our communication is. Fix those. Maybe what are they doing? What can we mimic this, and like why do they do it, right? It's just the same shit. It's just different personnel on Sunday. So I think only 2 of the guys that were there on Saturday, three that were there on Saturday were also there on Sunday. So, and then overall it was good, right? We kept it tight. Same thing on Sunday. We weren't blown off the field very much. It wasn't just all of a sudden 3 dead off the break, and then 10 seconds later the other 2 died. Maybe twice 2 points it happened, but everything else we kind of evened it up or got it down to low bodies and their impact. So fuck.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned communication there. We'll talk about it more later on the podcast, but I've been watching a lot of esports. We're kind of right in that prime of the esports seasons. We're getting into summer. A lot of bigger events are starting to happen. But I've been watching COD a lot more recently just because I've been getting back into it with Optic and everything. And I remember like the first couple of times they would jump in for like listen-ins while a team is playing. It sounds like fucking hamsters on Adderall. Like, it is some of the most clustered and chaotic communication you've ever heard. I'm not going to try to do it here because I can't give it justice. It is 4 dudes cracked out of their mind giving call-outs. It is insane. But the more you watch it, the more you're able to pick up on what they're saying. Like, the less it becomes just nonsense things being said, and more you're able to be like, oh, I get what the fuck they're calling for. Oh, they're calling for rotations. Oh, he wants him to run a route there. Like, you're starting to pick up on the nuances. And it's funny to me, the more you realize that good communication is the same across no matter what, like any game or any sport. It's about being able to communicate those slight bit of information that's more than just the position of a body. Being able to give your teammate, in whatever sense it is, just a little bit more information than his opponent he's going to face off in that gunfight, and he will be able to win that gunfight. It doesn't have to be a lot. It's just, you just got to get the right information over at the right time. And it's not just paintball. It's, every other esport I watch that happens. Fuck, basketball, all these other sports, you've got, guys got to make communications. They got to make audibles at the line. Fuck, man, stop giving a shit about how good you are at running and gunning and fucking talk to your teammates.
Yeah, and one thing that is so minuscule, but it makes 2 players so in any sport play so much better is when your teammate is right next to you and he's like, yo, I got you. When I'm playing the 1 and I'm in the Dorito 1 and I hear Brando slide out to the corner behind me, he's like, Hatch, I got you. My confidence level just goes up. Right, and that's just one of the things that part of communication where is make sure you have your teammates back. Don't be like AJ. Don't be like that guy sometimes. But
Dude, the amount of times you guys shit on AJ, I'm sorry, buddy.
It's funny. I love AJ. There were multiple.
It's okay. He has an Atlas complex. We talk about it.
Yeah, there was one time specifically where he's like, hey, I got you, but apparently I got you was not hey the wire. It was hey I got the inside, and then next thing I know, I'm getting fucking bunkered in my head, and I'm like,
when does I've got you ever mean the inside, guys?
That's what I said.
That if someone says that, I'm assuming the wire. In fact, I'm switching off the wire to look on the inside, so I don't know what the fuck he's talking about there.
You and me, brother.
I'm sorry, maybe I'm fucking weird. My bad.
I felt the same exact way. So that was a golden moment.
When you make an assumption, you make an ass out of you and I. Am I right?
You know what I'm saying?
Amen, brother.
I feel that one, but yeah, miss AJ. Honestly, that guy was a huge piece of the puzzle on our team, and it's definitely tough adjusting without him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
okay.
Always
so,
is to lose anyone,
while
kind of
we're
towards
on
the starting
topic
line.
of communication, can I tell you guys just a funny story really quick when it comes to communication?
Of course,
So back when I was in the slums of Tinder and online dating, there was this one girl that I went on a date
I don't know
with.
where this is
No,
going,
here we
audience.
go. So I was telling
We're
her,
going there together.
Yep, here we go. I was telling her that I was like, oh yeah, I play paintball and stuff like that, and I was like, oh yeah, she's.
I play paintball.
There was a layout release that week, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, just getting the layout, studying the new calls for me and the team, and she was like, calls, and I'm like, yeah, we have different calls for different bunkers and stuff like that. Boys, this bitch thought I meant like mating calls, like a caw-caw. Like she thought that that's what I meant. She was like, "Can I hear them?" And I was like, "What?"
She 100% thought you were in the woods, like duck calling to
Yes.
be like,
Yes.
they're in the 50. Like,
Yes,
God,
literally.
fucking okay.
Like the 50 is like, and I'm just like,
You guys an African tribe?
yeah,
There you go. You guys got there.
yeah. So,
I didn't make the sounds. They did.
whoa, hey, tell me I'm wrong.
I'm just saying that for the record. All right.
I ain't wrong. I've seen videos, but anyway.
We know Micah.
Yep. But yeah, she thought we were doing like animal calls in the woods when I first told her about.
Yeah, I got you. I'm with
So,
you now. Yeah.
that was-
She's a dumb person. I was
Yeah,
gonna say
and
something else, but I censored myself.
I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? But I guess that's just like for some people, paintball is so different. That's what they thought of when it comes
No,
to the
Hatch,
first
some
time.
people are just dumb. I think you ran into a dummy and you're trying to make it seem like it's this big life philosophy. No, I think this was a retarded person, and that's okay.
What if that was just her kink, and she really thought she finally found someone to
She
make
didn't
all
have
the
a
noises.
breeding fetish. She had a mating fetish.
Yeah,
It's a
she-
lot
yeah.
more
It's
animalistic. It's fucking. You got to make calls and shit. You have to make a nest in the fucking bed. It's wild, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking mating girlies. It's their time. They're coming out on Tumblr and all this
Like, I
shit.
better hear it before on your way home. Ring, ring. On your way home, she's leaving the windows open just to hear that.
She's waiting the window.
She knows.
You
she
have
knows
to
I'm
climb
coming
up
home.
the side and
She knows I'm coming
jump
home.
on in.
So
She responds.
yeah. So thank
And
God.
all of a sudden, Hatch is a bird fucking
Yeah.
another bird. All right.
Thank God. I ain't with
We
that.
love that for him.
Dude, thank God. She's burning my brain cells talking to her.
I don't know how we got to that one, boys. I'm proud of us.
Yeah, we're talking about communication.
Yeah, we were talking about communication. Let's segue that in because we were talking about getting ready for the AC event. Let's segue that into the AC event itself. We have had a layout drop. Now, guys, we are not a paintball podcast, so we will not be spending the next 40 minutes going over the layout. We will be spending the next couple minutes going over the layout, though. So let's talk about this AC layout. How do you guys feel about it? Everyone obviously wants to know your opinion in general, Stephen Hatch, because there's 4 Doritos in a row. Are you going to go kill someone?
Oh, in my mind, I was thinking, man, when you can see the wire through multiple Doritos, where it's like, if you have a clear avenue down the wire, bro, I'm taking it. You know.
Yep.
If there's no one putting pressure down that wire, I'm wrapping and going. You know, and that's
Come
just
back
like
home with your shield or on it.
Yeah,
Thank you,
and
Meta
that-
Marshall.
And that is just like the paintball intuition that it should be when you see a Dorito like a Dorito wire like that.
If that little voice in your head is not saying go, why are you the one?
Yeah, like because
This is
I'm
the
like,
time of paintball.
I'll be rapping and I'm like, what the fuck is stopping me? Nothing. What am I doing? Then I go.
Have you guys ever had that like third body person in your head as you're down the wire that's like, yeah, you should go right now. Why are you fucking standing there? It's like, I imagine it's like every teammate I've had in my past is just like, move, come on. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go.
I tell people a lot that when it's time, when that person's telling you or that voice is telling you like, hey, you should move, like it's already too late. Mostly, the higher up you go.
Definitely.
Yep. Yeah. No. 100%. Because if you're thinking that, there's already a trap set for you at the Pro Division.
Yeah.
Like it is not there for you at that point. But
It's funny when you say that,
fair
like
enough.
that whole third person thing, because sometimes we're in the middle of the game where, say if we got like kill 2, and it's like, all right, back left, back right, snake 1. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, boom.
Got
like,
all the pieces.
I'm like, GTA 5, go up in the clouds, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got my mini map. I'm like, oh,
You changed from Trevor to Michael. You
Yep,
like go
exactly.
to the stake side with
Yep,
fucking.
and then I'm just like, all right, the
Caden.
angles, like I put the geometry and the math together, and I'm like, oh, boom, let me get to here to get to the kill shot. you know, and that's just like the way you kind of should think when you have that level of communication down. When you hear, you know, like I don't know what some people use a goblin call for, you know, slow the game down or something, you know, put the pieces together.
Yeah. I almost had a call. Yeah, whatever call you have. One I hear a lot here in Texas for that is story time. You know, some type of whatever your call
Classic.
is for, be like, hey, let's chill on out for a little bit. Let's make them come into us. You know, we're not trying to go win this point right away. Yeah, we like that. Fuck. AC layout, more on that, boys. I was gonna say something off your sentence, Hatch, and I forgot it.
You know, I genuinely hope they let me play the snake side a little bit. That looks like fun. I love that wire snake where it looks like it's a little bit offset to where you can definitely take a lot of big bumps without even seeing down the wire completely.
And I do love Jason's like, all right, you fuckers don't like snake beams everywhere? One huge, giant, long snake. It goes the whole length of the field. Have fun.
He said, anaconda squeeze. You know?
That is one of the longest snakes I've seen in a long time. It goes from the back two grid lines. Like, that is almost the whole length of the field is a snake.
You know, I want to see what it like on the field. Obviously, I don't have the pleasure of having a paintball field right next to me. It's where it's like I want to see what the lanes look like. Because
normally the snake beam insert is right around that like 3 box, like into the 4th. Like that's kind of where we're seeing that.
The guy might as well start in the snake with all those big ass bunkers.
Oh you know yeah, pretty much. Because I mean, there's going to be a lane. There's always a lane you can find somewhere. Got some crafty ass paintball players out here, but looking at it on paper, it's like, man, we should be able to make the snake off break every single point.
Yeah, and it's like, if you make the snake one, it looks like, unless there's a crazy drop shot, looks like it should
So
be
if you're listening to this weekend when you're on this layout, figure out how to shoot the snake. That should be your main goal.
Definitely, yeah. Don't even worry about the Doritos, because I'm definitely not just storming down them.
Okay, we can figure out about that too, but I'm telling you right now, you need to figure out how to put pressure on that snake player, because he's going to get lost. At least you can kind of see the Dorito players he's flashing through the next Dorito.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of stuff shootable off the break, which I really like. But also you could shoot back. I feel like the home has some pretty good drop shots over the middle bunkers for the runners and the twos. But for it being the mini W,
I feel like you could bully 2s and 3s in this layout. Like it's gonna be a more you're coming down to 1s and like a couple 2s, you know, finishing out a point rather than the other way around.
Definitely, I feel like the way to counter that is by stacking, like say, like by putting another guy in the snake, where it's like they have to constantly worry about that double pressure.
Oh yeah.
Or just having a guy follow him pretty close to that like Aztec or is that an Aztec or
yeah,
tower?
it is.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a cake actually.
Is it?
Is it?
No,
it's a can. My bad, it's a can.
What?
On the snake side, it says C right underneath it, and it's got the circle, right?
Oh, that one. I thought you meant the first one connected to the snake. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Connected to the snake is the temple, yeah. But I was saying, like, if you just want to even filter your second out there, and then he can just, you know, find a gap in the lane and go behind him.
And then it's like, then the third guy, he kind of figures it out. Either he swings that side, triple up that side, bullies it, or he goes
reinforces Doritos, or
or he goes with the center and cuts it off to where, all right, good luck filling out.
Yep.
So, I mean, it definitely looks like there's going to be
one of the other things I wanted to bring up about the snake, I was thinking about when we were talking about it. A snake we haven't seen in a while, the only ways to get down it are moving down the wire. We've had a lot of snakes for a long time that you've been able to, at one of the 2 or the knuckles, take that inside route and then get lost.
Or there's an outside snake, an inside snake, some shit like that.
There is no corner, really, for the snake. I mean, you know, you could be in the snake 1, but even then you're in is that a mini... No, it's a cake. So, yeah, you're really not seeing shit. So, you got to be in the snake, too, it seems like, to contest the wire. But once you're there,
I don't even think
where are they going?
I don't even think that what is that? Is that a slanted mini slanted wedge?
Yeah.
It's a wedge.
I think even that, I think the S4 being that juice box sideways, you know?
Is it a GW? What's the GW?
GW?
That's the one underneath it.
It's
a wing. Wedge. It's not a juice box. That's why. Yeah, so it's even going to be bigger. So it's going to pop out more than the juice boxes. Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of times where people are going to try to go and maybe take that like little shimmy shake out, try to get the dominance down the wire. You know, try to see all the way down. I think that's going to be some next level high IQ plays.
Also, question though, Hatch. Yeah, because if you're in the snake 1, what's shooting you cross field? Until they get to like the 50 line, you're kind of blocked out by that shit in the middle. Like if you're in that snake one and then kind of starting to dead zone out to watch over your boy. I mean, you got to keep a head on a swivel because people can come up the center, but
that tower can't even see you on the Dorito side. I mean, maybe that guy can.
Yeah, because there's a giant wedge in the way. There's a brick up there.
That might be the guy that like shoots down, like maybe shoots like that.
It might be blind. Yeah, I don't know the angle, but yeah,
it might be the guy.
I mean, something to think about, guys.
Yeah, you need your tall guy on your team to just like stand tall on his tippy toes and just hammer straight down.
Pull the Jacob Edwards or Jason Edwards, where it's my hand's not even framed, just all the way up on the fucking tower, just shooting down.
Absolutely, dude.
Let me try to hit some,
bro. If you think it looks goofy, 1, it does. 2, it works.
Hey, say Cedar's quote. I know you know it.
Which one?
It's only strange if it don't work.
Facts, dude. It's only stupid if it does not work. And
there you go.
I tell you, Papa is the king of great quotes. I'll tell you that.
Chris Cedar's one of the few men I've seen start a paintball point with 7 pods on his back and no gun in his hand and give those pods to his homies. Shout out Chris Cedar. One of my favorite clips Sam ever got.
I can see it on the back of my eyelids now where he's like running, just like dropping off care packages on his way.
Just leaving him in the snake because he's like, all right.
He must have been on an 8-kill streak with an emergency airdrop, just going for the snake. Like, that is insane to me, you know? And
yeah, he decided to play support.
Yeah, I remember even Marcelo Margot commented on it, and he was like, "Oh, dude, like honestly, like people are hating on this, but dude, look, he's doing. If he couldn't get out there in time, he did with it.
Chips are down, your gun's down at the box. At least you're doing something. Like, okay, you can't shoot, but at least you can talk."
They did not know. The other team did not know that his gun is down.
Well, yeah, they just see a head popping out of the snake. That's always scary.
Absolutely.
My butthole bunkers when I see that. I don't know about y'all.
Yep, it's like at that point when I see a guy in the snake, I'm like, well, all right, now I have to completely be aware that I can be shot in my inside at any point.
I'm not looking at him analyzing like, is his marker pointed directly at me? I'm just like, no, that's goggles of a dude that's not my homie. I don't like him.
Yes, exactly. It's like, unless I'm seeing, at least for me, unless I'm seeing that purple, enemy.
And even sometimes when you see that purple,
I'm shooting. Yeah.
And even sometimes when he sees that purple, he gets his licks in.
The Marv special. The Marv special shooting teammates for sure.
Yeah. No longer me.
I mean,
I will say, if you run someone down and you get caught in the crossfire, that's on you. All right. If your homies are trying to put it on someone and you take a couple in the crossfire, you can't be mad at that.
Yeah, it's fine.
I definitely have seen Marv rip his teammates quite a few times though, trying to avoid a penalty.
That one clip is so fucking funny though. But I mean, dude, you see that Solus clip where I got fucking shit on today?
Yeah, I love the refs like, all right, man, I'm going to sit here with you and let everyone know where you are for 30 seconds.
Hit! And he says hit. And I'm like, I look around, I'm like, me? And then he's like, because he says hit, and I'm like, hey.
Yeah, but then he comes in to check you.
And then he comes in to check me, right? So thank God I didn't just get the fuck out, if I'm being honest. Because he would,
honestly,
his default was...
Honestly, if you just gotten out, I would have taken your spot, and I don't think that guy would have wrapped. I don't think that guy would have wrapped then as quickly.
Really? Think so?
I think so.
I think realistically they saw the ref go in taking so long to check me. They're like, free real estate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. For people who haven't seen the clip, Hatch is in the Dorito, fucking, as Hatch says, ref calls him out, but comes in to check him, like kind of second guesses himself. And then as he's checking him, it's literally like 10 to 20 seconds. He's standing there with Hatch in his bunker. Obviously the enemy team's like, I think there's a dude in that bunker, and the second Hatch comes out to get back in the gunfight, ball in the goggles, and it's
because it was crazy timing because I checked the wire with that big brick on the 50 Dorito. I'm like, okay, sweet, nobody. Lock onto my next target. He comes out with that COD timing, blows me away. I'm like, motherfucker.
COD timing, man.
But like, that was one of those things where I was like, man, do I shoot my gun? Like, I know I'm not hit. You know?
I mean, you did the right thing there. You paused and you made him confirm it because, look, as a player, yes, if it's a weird situation like that, a ref is not gonna like instantly call a minor on you if you stop playing, look at them, and like make them confirm that you're hit. Like, yes, obviously don't keep rolling your gun, and don't give them any sass or anything because that's not gonna help your case. But if you instantly like, oh, what ref? Yeah, me. And like, if they tell you again, get out, then yes, you gotta start getting out. But sometimes you'll get them to come in and kind of check you and kind of confirm them for themselves.
Honestly, if he would have zoomed out maybe like a half a screw on his lens more, dude, you would have seen a nasty double knee slide, bro. It was nasty. Let me just say, first of all.
Shabby level?
It felt good. Right?
Shabby's got some of the cleanest double knee slides I've seen in paintball in a while.
Dude, I'd be like this. I'd take the pencil out of behind my ear and I take my notes when I see those verbal videos posted. You know? So, trying it myself, learning. Definitely hard.
Last thing about AC, we obviously got the 2 big towers in the either side of the field again.
Yep.
So people are
Way
gonna
up
play
the
those.
field,
That
too.
just happens.
Dude, rundown city, bro. It's gonna be rundown
Yes.
city.
Well, yeah, because you guys
the
see,
middle.
it's like you've got 4 bunkers on the back line, and then you have like 8 within the like 40 to 50 yard line. So it's just going to be a little chaotic in there, especially some of these teams that like more center heavy type plays. I'm excited to see it.
I think you're gonna see a lot of
I'm not
bouncing
mad.
around. Like if someone's in like the farther wedges and like they get found out by the other team, they're gonna be bouncing back to that previous big bunker, and they'll be like, all right, now they're boom, trap set
Set the trap. Yeah, trip. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I
We're
definitely
probably
think
going to see
that's
some
gonna be
guys
great.
try pod tosses. They always want to get the clip.
Oh yeah, baby.
Standing at like the what is that? It's a brick on the back. Yeah, throwing it up like at the other side wedge, making them feel like it came through or something.
Oh yeah. Pod
Yeah.
toss. That one's hard to do, bro. Because you have to remember, if anybody on their team sees it, it
They're
does not
calling
work.
it out. Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, it's funny because I've actually seen that shit where someone's
60%
trying to
of the time, it works 100% of the time.
yeah, amen, brother. Right?
Let's be
Dude,
real, man. If you ever are in a point in when you're playing paintball that your thought is, I'm going to throw a pot at the bunker in front of me, you're already losing, man. You're just hoping something works out for you.
Hey,
That's
no,
not a
the thing
go-to
is-
move.
No, I wouldn't say it's a go-to move, but it is a.
It shouldn't be
ace
the
in
first thing
sleeve.
in your arsenal.
No, it's definitely an ace in the sleeve for sure. Right?
And the more it
First
gets
thing you
used,
get-
the less it works.
You're throwing
Bro,
2 pods. Yeah.
Every single point, you're pod throwing the 50.
Also, well, yeah, that, and if you're doing it Friday, fuck you. That's something you pull out Sunday. That is something you pull out tournament
Definitely.
life on the line type. Like, those
That's
are
an
the
overtime
breakouts where you realize you can make it to the 50 clean. You don't do that until, like, Sunday morning you're in fucking overtime. Like, all right, shit, we got to pull it out, boys, go.
Yeah.
So you say that, right? And
I say that, okay.
But with you saying that, it reminds me of playing in the woods, with the OG Ironman guys. One guy, Weasel, Dave Cook, he always walking the field.
What about
with him.
45 pro tournaments back in 1982?
Yeah,
That sick-ass call sign, Weasel.
Yeah.
Call
lot,
sign
yeah.
Weasel. Yeah, they probably did call it call signs back then. We didn't have gamer tags yet.
Yeah, that's like, we call it gamer tags. They call it call signs.
Exactly, dude. That's the
We call it gamer
generational
tags.
gap. If your nickname is a gamer tag, you were millennial and lower. If
played
it's a call
Xbox
sign,
360
you're
for
Gen
sure.
X and up.
Right?
Jesus.
But when you said it was an older guy, I was instantly like, Psh, definitely. He used call sign.
Yeah.
Call sign, Weasel
so-
here over.
So
Do you guys want to know my brother's call sign in the military?
Let's hear it.
Are we allowed to?
Yeah. That's not a classified thing. It's Clifford. After Clifford the Big Red
Big
Dog.
Red
I'm not even
Dog?
joking.
He's a
Hell yeah.
Yeah. My
Big
sister-in-law's
redhead?
is better. It's FIG. Stands for fuck I'm good shit.
Nice.
It's not given to you because it's a good thing. Let's just say that, so you guys can put that
Alright.
together. But yeah, so yeah, that's their actual call signs for people who use call signs. Military,
Hell yeah.
aviator, pilots. Yeah, hell yeah, cool for them. We're just nerds who use fucking gamer tags.
yeah,
Tweety.
yeah, here's
Whatever.
Hey, I got you, Pooey.
Yeah, all right.
I got you,
Calm
Pooh.
down. Calm
Good
down.
shit, Pooey.
I will say, Brando, Pooh is not a hard gamer tag.
I'm on your 6, Pooey.
Look, I didn't come up with it. I just inherited it. I took it over.
Fair enough that you didn't come up with it, because at least you didn't give yourself a nickname. Like, I got very lucky that Mafia was given to me by my baseball teammate. Fucking shout out Andrew Williams, because the second he did it, I was like, that is my nickname for life now. Thank you, dog, because I didn't say it, but someone else did. And
Yep,
so, yeah,
confirmed.
I made, like, all my gamer tags and shit after that, Mafia. But yeah, no, it's cool when you find your name, bro. Dude, my favorite thing is League of Legends pros in, like, Korea and China. They literally just grab a random American word. I'm not shitting you. So, like, some of the best pros over there are, like,
Bathtub
Ruler.
going in jungle.
No, and Faker and fucking you have Bang and fucking King and I don't know. There's other ones I can't think of right now, but it's just like it's just a random one word English word. And Faker's is sick because now it's like Faker's one of the best esports players of all goddamn times. He's multiple goddamn League of Legends trophies, but it's also one of those things that's like that name could have been a lot better.
But-
He
well,
could have
the
had
thing is-
something a lot more cooler.
It's definitely tough. Where as long as it's not like super long, it's definitely tougher the shorter it is. Like if it's like a one word.
True, and
That's
at
reminds me
least
of gamer tags.
at least that one works internationally too, because English is used more internationally. Like if it was in his native language, it would be like Kusakyun, or like something that would be hard for international audiences to pronounce. So that was good branding by him, I guess.
Good shit. Hell yeah. I like that. Faker.
Yeah. You guys don't know about Faker the GOAT?
No, I'm not too familiar with League of Legends. Esports,
Faker is he's considered one of the best League of Legends players of all time. He's a mid player, which is one of the most important positions in League. He's won, I want to say, 4 or 5 different League world titles. No one's even close to that. Like the next runner up is 2. He's undeniably considered one of the best players of all time in that esport, and one of the best esports players of all time. Man is literally a celebrity in Korea. Like he is a famous A-list celebrity in their country.
No way. That's
Esports is a wild background in Korea.
Do we
since like fucking StarCraft Brood War, bro?
Do we have any famous esport players that are nationally known? Because there's famous YouTubers or people like streamers. I know.
The problem is not Scump. Scump's too small. There's Ludwig's bigger than Scump, and I hate saying that, but it's true. From like how many audience people know him, honestly, Tarek might be the biggest. Counter-Strike MVP, one of the few American major winners of all time, did it on American soil in Boston. Has now moved over to Valorant. He's a big audience in both. He's been picked up by some like more mainstream creators too. So maybe him, but even then, like, you see what I mean? That's not even the same thing compared to what Faker is. And Tarek deserves it. Like I said, he's one of the few Americans to ever win a Counter-Strike title in the 20 plus years that esports been going on.
Wow.
Fucking Swedish and Norwegians win it all the time.
Okay.
Tarek Selic. What kind of name is this shit?
Turkish, I think. But
one of my favorite phase
Tarek.
members I used to watch was Swedish.
He used to play on CLG at the beginning of his career, and then won it for our boys Cloud9. Shout out Cassie. Did a cool video for them.
Hell
Swedish? Like tapes?
Swedish? Yeah, well, Counter-Strike's big in Europe. So, like, Sweden, Norway, like I said, Denmark. Like, a lot of those northern European countries really love to play it. So, a lot of great players come out of those countries.
Definitely.
Yeah. I guess. All right.
I started playing more CS. I started playing some more CS. I'm fucking ass.
Yeah, CS is fun. Well, it's just like how like MOBAs, which is like League of Legends and Dota, those are really popular in Asian countries, and Korea and China are always the 2 best countries in the world at League. So it's it kind of goes. But then you look at like something like COD. That's only fucking us who play it. Like, there's some Latin American teams, there's a couple European teams, but that's about it. Like, that is our esport. We need a controller, we need it simple, and we dominate that shit.
Yep.
Damn straight. Call of Duty, Halo, no one touching us.
That's it. That's all we got. Speaking of, we'll talk about it. We're talking about esports. Boys, for me, finally got it done. I got to give some backstory here. So, for people who weren't big old school COD fans like us, OptiGaming back in the day, they had the Dynasty, one of the best rosters ever created. Scump, Formal, Big Timer, and was it Big Timer or
no?
Was it Karma? I don't know. Who was in that Dynasty year? Formal played on a bunch of different rosters with them. But the biggest story is Scump and Formal. Scump and Formal were kind of the mainstays of all those different Optic rosters. Scump has retired at this point. He eventually has got to a point where he realizes he was still competitive, but not at the top of his game anymore, and he wanted to be a content creator. Formal never gave it up, except he's not playing COD anymore. He's playing Halo of all games. So yes,
brother.
Halo competitive is still a thing and still going on. I remember watching Halo 2 competition matches on DirecTV when I was in elementary school. All right, this fucking esports been going around for a minute.
Definitely.
Formal, he I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, he made the move over he kind of retired from COD at the moment and went over like, I want to go win a championship in another controller-based esport and kind of prove that I'm the GOAT here.
Yeah, he started.
Yes, he used to play both. Yeah. So he went back and they had the fucking worst luck ever last year. They were the fucking blast camp of the scene. They got second at every goddamn event they played in that year. They made it to the grand finals 5 or 6 events and got second 5 or 6 events in a row.
Damn, that's rough, bro.
They were pissed. Optic in the offseason dismantled the World Championship team from Starship Gaming last year, brought over 2 of their biggest players and another third guy from another team, made a whole different roster for Formal this year, and they had it all on the line. They went into the first major this last weekend. It was over Easter weekend. Man, it did not start well. Optic Gaming on their group play, they win their first match. Okay, cool. So that's great. It's good to have at least one in your pool play. They go into their next one. I think they go down 2-0 to Heretics or Maniacs. It's one of those 2 teams. I can't remember fully. There's so many teams in my head. They go down 2-0, and then all of a sudden the live stream cuts out.
What?
And everyone at home in the Twitch chat like, oh shit, the internet died? Like, oh damn, what's going on at the event? So we jump on Twitter. Well, on Twitter, everyone's being evacuated from the building because the power went out.
Oh.
Instantly, tweets start going out of like, what did Hex just do? Optic down 2-0 and the power goes out at Optic's Major in Halo. Like, what's going on? The fire department shows up. Apparently, some like electrical box overheated and caught on fire, which then caused the power to fall. And then, there's a fire. So the fire department had to come. They cancel the rest of the games that night. There was like the rest of the Optic match, like one more game after them. They, say, hey, we're going to come back early in the morning, play these, and then go through. Optic comes back in the morning. They're down 2-0. They lose. So what that means is they're 1-1 coming out of pool play, which is good. That means they're still moving on in the tournament, but they're not going to the winners bracket. They're going to losers. In most esport tournaments, when you get towards the bracket side, there's a winners and a losers. When you're in winners, it feels good because you've won all your matches to get up there. It also means if you lose one of your next matches, you have another chance because then you go down to the losers bracket and play out until you meet at the grand finals. They are down in the losers bracket, which means from round 1 of the playoffs, it is win or go home. And might I add this, if you're starting losers bracket round 1, it's worse than being a wild card in paintball. You're playing more matches because there's times when those losers, the winners are going to come down to play those loser bracket teams. So there are more matches waiting for them ahead than would normally, be up if they were in the winners. All right. Well, Saturday comes around. They start their losers bracket gauntlet. They win their first couple games pretty good. All right, we love to see that. They start stomping some teams out. Okay, we love to see that. They make it into Sunday. Okay, so we're in losers semis. So what this means at this point in the tournament, as I mentioned, there's the winners bracket and the losers bracket. As the losers bracket starts to get towards the semis and the finals, eventually one of those 2 teams wins and moves on. It was Optic. They were able to take down their other 2 competitors, and they had to go and play Shopify Rebellion in the grand finals. Now, Shopify Rebellion, they were in the winners finals the whole time. They're undefeated coming into, the grand finals. They should have some type of, benefit for that. There is. If the losers final team comes into the grand finals, they don't have to win just once. They have to win 2 best of 7s in a row. Because that first best of 7 resets the bracket and then now makes both those teams on the same position. So then whoever wins that is the true winner of the event. Optic in 4 games reset the bracket. They had Shopify Rebellion quaking. The whole entire arena was fucking losing their mind because we thought we were going to see a goddamn another 4-0 and see a quick 2 best of 7 series and see Formal finally take a ring. Shopify Rebellion woke the fuck up. That best of 7 goes to game 7. And game 7 Slayer, Optic Formal records the 50th kill, the final kill to give his team the win and for the first time in multiple years crown him as a major champion in Halo. He did it in front of a Optic fan base. He rushes for the trophy and we all lose our goddamn mind, including me at home, who has never watched Halo competitive until this goddamn weekend. But since Formy was there, holy shit, I was on the edge of my seat. You couldn't have written a better ending to this tournament. Fucking best of 7 at game 7 after a bracket reset in the grand finals. You guys don't understand the fucking drama that is.
I love that
after a fucking power outage on Friday, esports.
You know, I'm pretty sure there was another esport that happened like, dude, I feel like in like the
This
early
doesn't make you hype
2010s
nothing, Will.
where the power went out as well, and I feel like there was like it was called like the Blackout tournament or something like that. I feel like it was a Call of Duty tournament though, like maybe like 2013, maybe it was a Ghost tournament, but I do remember like
You Ghost, we don't talk about that here.
Hey, I'm not even gonna lie. I love the Ghost
But
esports.
take the rose-colored glasses off. It was dog shit.
No, no,
You
no,
hated it.
the
I hated it.
the
Everyone
game
hated
itself,
it.
The game itself, a little gray for
Was
me,
dog
but,
shit.
But the esports of it was a lot of fun.
It did have a good esports side. I can give you
Like,
that. There was a good competitive side for
I
it.
love playing
Like,
GBs.
I can say right now, Black Ops 6, I don't want to play it. I do want to watch it on esports. Like, it is fun to watch those guys bang out with the Omni movement and everything that's going on with it. So I
play
can.
COD, but I'll watch
I see
it,
what you're
yeah.
saying. Yeah, no,
Right,
I see what
so-
you're saying there.
And so I used to love watching Halo esports. Okay, so my first Halo esports experience was when I watched the Optic guy Flame Sword. You might remember that gamer
yep.
tag a little bit from
Yeah.
way back in the day. But
If
dude,
you don't
he
know
was-
who Walshy is, you're not Unk. Plain and simple.
okay,
If we're talking Halo greats, that's just Walshy. He's up there.
and dude, it's so crazy. Formal's been a Halo great for such a long time, and it took this long to get him that championship.
I think
been
he's
so
had a
good.
chip before, but this was like he came back last year. Like he's been trying for so hard, and like it was second, and then he finally broke through this event. And it was one of the things everyone knew he would. Formal is considered one of the greatest controller esports players. Period. Like
Absolutely.
there's not any more to that sentence. And so it was one of those things like it's coming. We know it's gonna come. You know, how's it going to happen? What teammate's going to be around him? Because he needed support. And I will say it at times, Formal got carried in a couple of those matches, bro. He was looking a little rough at times, but, you know, that's his
Everybody has
his
those
magic.
games.
As
Yeah.
I said, he's the dude who recorded the 50th fucking kill. You know, like, he's still got it in him, bro.
He'll clock
Like,
in.
it's, yeah.
Right, and dude, he's been in esports for feels like longer than I've even like been gaming. It feels like 'Cause
So
when I first started
they-
getting into, he was always been a name since I first got into esports.
Yeah. No, 100%. So when they went down, in that the second best of 7, they took like a 2-game lead, and then Shopify Rebellion won like 3 games in a row.
Okay.
Formal's face during that, you just saw it like, no, not fucking again. I'm not in the fucking, I'm not going to make it to another grand finals, reset the bracket, and then get second again. And like, we don't have a
What that
listen
conversation
in.
is that break after?
Optics, you know, Optic, they're probably going to put those comms out at some point. But you could just tell it was tense moments in the comms where he's like, lock the fuck in, motherfuckers. I'm not taking second again.
Yeah.
You need to slay right now. And God, dude, that was a tournament that reminded me why I fell in love with esports. Because honestly,
I love
I believe that esports
video
gives
games
some of the
and
most
esports.
best, some of the best storylines and moments that you'll ever see in any, you know, traditional type of sport. It's insane, man. And a lot of it comes down to, because dudes are using controllers, you know? They're not going out there and hoping their Achilles tendon doesn't fucking snap on them as they're trying to run a football in.
Absolutely. These motherfuckers are eating Cheetos in their spare time, you know. But I will say, esports,
And not Freakazoid.
all of these big esports organizations now are like, all right, now that you guys have already made it to the top, you guys cannot be a bunch of fat couch cushions, you know? Like, they make their guys work out. And I
Well,
thought
yeah,
that was
because
so
that
cool.
does affect your reaction time.
100%.
If you have a healthy body, you have a faster reaction time. Like, it is a 100% a legitimate thing.
It is
Yeah.
great finally seeing that because, dude, it was a while where people were like, all these big boys are coming in, and it's like,
Yeah, eat Doritos. It's fucking
Yeah,
great.
Mountain Dew,
Beans
Code Red.
comes in looking like a goddamn fucking
God.
loaf. Beans is
Yeah.
one of the most ugliest motherfuckers I've seen on this planet. He will also destroy you in Call of Duty. So yeah, it's funny because and then you have the other side, Freakazoid. Like I said, he was on one of the old Cloud9 CS teams. Dude was literally a bodybuilder. Like had a bodybuilder frame. Was the reason they wore tank tops at an event so he could flex on teams. And it was intimidating as fuck. And he always was like, yeah, I feel good when I'm playing because like my body feels good. I feel quick. I feel in it. And yeah, so no, it's a legit thing, bro.
yeah, and dude, let me tell you, I've loved esports ever since. So the first time I got into it, that was probably like, Black Ops 1. That was when I first got into like esports. I was like, whoa, you know.
Yeah,
I'm watching Optic and watching some FaZe videos and stuff like that. Obviously, that's not like an esports team, but that transitioned me in there.
Hey, FaZe is an esports team now. You can claim it now.
Absolutely now,
Yeah.
100%. But I'm talking about back then.
Yeah, no, back in the day, they were just trick shotters.
Dude, I mean, one of my favorite motivational videos, no joke, is an esports video.
Of course it is. Which one?
Nate shot, baby.
Okay.
Nate
Well,
shot's like
Nate,
bro,
all
when he
right.
was in his prime, dude, when it was like Call of Duty Ghost, Advanced Warfare, dude, like that shit. Okay, they don't show footage of the HBR, but
You love Nate.
dude, I'm a big fan.
Okay, yeah, they don't show the HBR footage.
They do not show the HBR footage.
I
but
love
everything else
Scump's
around
quote about that when they interviewed him. He literally was just like, I mean, he pulled out the HBR,
Yeah.
and it's just like, of course we hated him. Like, he gave up.
And the esports with Twitter, dude, that's like a huge scene on Twitter where with the
Yep.
esports scene where it's like whenever something crazy happens, in
Lot goes down
esports,
over there.
You know, it's like where you hear something, you go to Twitter because people for some reason will fucking tweet about it. You know,
It's unhinged at times.
It's unhinged, yeah.
hey,
I mean, for me, like, yeah, I watched, MLG's coverage of COD and stuff back in the day, and like I remember seeing some early CS 1.6 footage on like some random things I caught, and like I mentioned, I remember when I was like at elementary school, I found DirecTV had like a channel that was playing like some random Halo tournament that was going on.
Dude,
so I had
bro,
like
I remember
little.
that.
Yeah, I had little
That was a
interactions with
memory for sure.
esports, but it wasn't until I was in high school and I started playing CS. And honestly, that's why I'm a ride or die Cloud9 fan, because that's
Dude.
where I found Cloud9 and I really like their personalities. That got me into esports. Man, I was watching COD earlier today, man. Like 15 years later, this is still something I love. And so to me, that's why I will always support the brand of Cloud9. You throw in the fact that, hey, it's got one of our paintball OGs over there. Fuck yeah, we will
I'm
always
for sure
support that
biased
brand.
towards Cloud9 there for sure, right? Obviously, I'm
And
a big Optic
what I
Gaming Blue Ball
love
guy,
to
but,
me,
dude,
well, to me, Jack and Hex, the two owners of those companies, they're very similar guys. They've always shown that they care about pushing esports forward. They've fucked up on the way. Both of them have definitely made mistakes,
Definitely.
but they also own it. And that's a big thing that a lot of people don't do. And where it's like, all right, you can see that was a bad idea. You see that in hindsight now. Fair. You can now move forward understanding
Definitely.
that and make better ones.
I like
But
what
yeah,
they
so
do.
I always support Optic and Cloud9.
absolutely. My favorite thing about them is they are also very big advocates on personality with content creation. Right? They're like,
Because that's how you push a brand forward. Because that's how Optic started, bro. It was
Exactly.
a
If
machinima
any of
account.
them
Like,
ever-
it wasn't an esport team.
If any of them were like, all right, I want to take a step back from
Now
the
they
pro
got
scene,
chains, bro.
right? I want to take a step back from the pro scene and start producing content. They have Optics and Cloud9's full support.
Yeah. Well, like Scump.
It's like a
It
requirement.
was like, okay, you want to retire, man? Cool. Let's figure out something you can do content-wise. All right, the watch party. Now he gets more viewers than the fucking main CDL broadcast feed.
Yes.
Because everyone just wants to hang out with Scump and watch COD.
Yeah, parasocial
I'm gonna be
relationship,
honest,
bro.
I just watch the
same
main
stuff.
feed because, like, dude, it gets wild over there at times where it's like, guys, are we actually watching the fucking games? But proof is like he had that following built up because he was already doing content before he even decided to retire, and then once he retired, it was a very easy switch to, okay, now I'm on the broadcast side and the commentary side now.
Yeah, and a lot of these other gaming organizations are sadly like a little bit too late to that golden era of YouTube when it was like the commentary.
Well, it was easier to grow back in the day.
For
Because
sure.
the threshold
scene.
of talent you had to have was a lot lower.
For sure.
Durka could post the same Zombies gameplay 7 times in a row and get 20,000 views on it. If you do that today, 4 people are going to watch it, and on the 7th time you upload it, 3 people are going to call you an idiot.
Yeah, see,
For sure.
the content
world.
matters a lot more now.
A lot more. I am
Quality.
so jealous of content creators in 09, man.
Definitely.
The bar was on the floor.
Now it's like you got to fucking beat a world record while on a unicycle while juggling, Like,
Yeah, and that
It's
gets you
insane now.
15 seconds of fame on Instagram. Like, that would
Exactly.
have made a million view video, like,
and the
20
reel
years
has
ago.
to be under
Even bigger than
16
that.
seconds. If it's longer than that, they're off. It's over. Next time, buddy.
Yeah, no, I've been scrolling by it. But yeah, so speaking of Optic Halo, let's talk about another Halo guy, except he went over to Call of Duty. And he got fucking slammed today. Optic Call of Duty got fucked up. We're into the 3rd major of the year. They have not been looking good, boys. It has been a rough year for them. There's been constant roster turnover. Pred has found his way onto the Vegas Falcons now. He started the year with Optic, then got dropped by them, then got re-picked up for the 2nd major of the year.
That was so
got his
interesting.
ring with Optic, and then got dropped. My theory on that is that, as we know, I don't know Hex personally, But through all of his content for the last 15 years, respect and loyalty has always been a very big thing to him. Yep. I sincerely believe that they brought Pred back for that major so he could get his ring with the team in front of the Optic fan base, and then they knew that they were going to drop him again right after. I really believe that's what happened there.
Like that was already like a foreseen part of the
like it's hey
prophecy.
Man, I have respect for you. You brought Optic a ring. I will let you have that moment with the team, but you know, our time here is done after that. Yeah. And I think they're probably behind the scenes. They still look, I mean, again, I don't know Hex, but from everyone I've heard who does, that man, once you're in his circle, you're in his circle. And if you break that trust, you're gone forever. But if you're in that circle, he will do anything for you. He's very big on like loyalty.
That's how everybody should be, realistically.
Yeah, and I respect Hex for that. But yeah, so Pred, he's now on the Falcons. He's pissed off and fucking people up in respawns. We love to see that. His hardpoint numbers are going insane this year. But Optic, they're just getting slammed. They lost 0-3 today to one of the more worst teams in the league. Boston Breach have been getting better, but still not a team you want to be losing to on the first day of a major. And so they will now be going into the Elim bracket for the rest of the tournament, and there's a good chance they lose that first game and go out. The current roster for them is Skies, who was playing on New York Subliners last year, Shotzi, Dashy, and they have Huke, who they brought back, who's the replacement for Pred.
Dashy's really, really good.
Dashy's one of those guys who has the argument for being one of the best players of all time, but has always been in teams where it's been impossible for him to make it happen.
I mean, he was on Optic for a while.
Exactly, and that's why him winning last year was so big. I don't know if you guys watched the doc of that win. One of the most beautiful shots in the doc is right after they win, he like leans back and like has this moment where he's just taking it all in, and you can see, and it hard cuts to him like, I don't know the exact time, but many years ago, losing an event in that same exact position. And it's like seeing like the instant jump of like age, of like seeing how young he was when he started, and like how this has been the thing he's wanted to do for fucking close to a decade, and then he finally gets it done. Man, that is why esports is so good, bro. Because like that's why paintball's so good too. It's these stories of emotion and dedication that people give up for something that is arguably kind of stupid and will never reward them for that fact, but to them it is the reward, and that's all that matters.
100%.
Boom! Right. I fucking said the thing. I did it. I didn't even plan it. I did it.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Fucking did it. I'm proud.
It's one of those things where I mean, with paintball, like when I win, it's not like I can like put that on my fucking resume, you know, like for work.
You could probably put down pit manager.
Oh, valid.
Organized and managed multiple people in an efficient manner to deliver the high-speed replacement of equipment. There you go. Dude, there's your resume. If you've ever managed a pit, put that on your resume. There you go, kids.
Now I'm at the point where, dude, we've done over 50 episodes of a podcast, bro. I'm putting entertainer on my resume.
50 episodes, Hatch? We've almost done 150. You okay
know,
with
that's
that,
what I'm
buddy?
saying, right? But no, 50 was like a threshold. Now I can. Now I can say I'm an entertainer on my resume.
Well, I was gonna say, throw in your extra episodes. You're probably up at 150 now, between like your guest appearances you made recently and some other ones.
Valid. Yeah.
Speaking of, you want to talk about Joy of Paintball? I know you joined Clint Riddle for a little bit on that. People can go check that out now.
Yeah, absolutely. So Clint Riddle and the Joy of Paintball, that whole brand that he's made, which honestly, like, great brand. I love what he stands for with everything. He had me on his podcast recently, about 2.5 weeks ago, I think, and it just released today, which today we're recording is the 24th. And
it's actually pretty recent. And I do have, I expanded myself full size, but if you're looking at my camera, I have the Joy of Paintball. It's on the right side of my screen. It was one of the original brochures he made for that brand. I loved what he was doing with these little like pamphlet type things. He stopped doing them because they are a lot of work and probably some money to make, but I love what he's doing. I also have my piece right next to him as well, the skull with the JT goggles on it. I love it. I love Clint's work. I love the different creativity he brings to the game, because hell, there's thousands of us who are taking photos and making videos, but there's one dude who's taking charcoal to a paper and making things look cool, and that's Clint Riddle.
Absolutely. And it was very interesting on a whole different pace compared to what we have, right? Where he was kind of asking me more about like my personal life and stuff like that. And obviously I have no problem sharing my personal life with you guys, right? But he was really asking me a lot of questions directly. And
yeah, we don't ask about your personal life. We don't We don't really want
Yeah,
to
you
know.
guys- you guys
honestly.
Yeah, we don't really
You
care.
guys
We don't
don't
really give a fuck. Yeah. Nah.
Co-workers.
We haven't fucking had multiple therapy sessions on this show where we fucking
No.
talk you through your dog dying, your
No,
fucking
dude,
multiple other
bro,
deep,
I was
human emotions.
I was saying that, right? And I was like, dude, like the fucking, like this podcast, FTS, fucking saved my life, bro. Like competitive wear, right? It's saying the reason why I said that is like, I guess I'm kind of repeating what I said on there, but it's like the podcast saved me from mediocrity, right? Where episode 1 of the podcast, boom, now I have a baseline of what I can look back on, right? And what my attitude was, what my headspace is, how good I am at that moment. And now just seeing my gradual growth throughout the 142 episodes. Yep, 142 episodes. Are you sure?
It's 140. Oh, 143.
Boom!
142 was last week. Whatever. I did have it down on my page, but my pen was over it, so I don't really
Right,
care.
so it's like, dude, just like I used to be so angry, right? And I remember, dude, I've had a very emotional like breakdown on the pod about just how angry I used to be. It just huge change in the way this podcast is.
You still get angry. You drop it a lot faster.
It's not. I get angry way less. I will, without a doubt.
I think. Yeah. No, I think that's a great point of like your internal perspective on something versus external perspective, because yes, you probably have a point. You're not even angry nearly as much, but you're just still loud and energetic, and so people, they get that vibe.
They perceive it
because when you're holding a
you're
marker
angry.
and running at someone and being loud, it comes off at that. But like, I do genuinely believe what you're saying, Hatch. Because yeah, I mean, you have been a happy-go-lucky dude. And it's been cool.
I genuinely try to be, dude. And let me tell you, like, I'm blessed that I have a great support system with Brando and Ryan, right? Like, I'm grateful that I have, Papa Cedar and everybody on DMG, right? Because it's like, he asked me, like, I don't know what question he asked me, but I was saying how, my most prized possession is, like, my boys. It's like, there is no physical thing that can even be possible that I would ever take over my boys and my family, right? Not even my blood family. Like, my blood family, we don't get along. My friends that I've, like, my blood that we've slid our hands and we've shook each other's hands, you know what I'm saying? Blood brothers.
Gay.
Right?
Gay.
Super gay. Right? And
Yeah, we just sleep in beds with each other. That's it.
I was gonna say one of the things you said that was powerful there, Hatch, and hey, we're doing therapy, so I guess we need therapy time.
Let's hear it.
You don't need a podcast for that too. You were talking about like you were able to kind of see like where I was in life. You can write that down in a journal.
Absolutely.
And like that's not for you. That's for maybe an audience member out there who wants to start living like Hatch a little bit. Like, and it doesn't even need to be every day. But if you got some time during the week, just throw down what your thoughts are and go look at it in 6 months. And you can reflect back on where you've been, kind of what opportunities have happened for you. And yeah, I think it's a good way to kind of to grow and also see your perspective in life, because it's really easy to forget that shit. It moves on pretty quick.
Absolutely, right? Like we're lucky enough that we have a record button going, right? Dude,
my whole life has been recorded, dog.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, that's sick. That's awesome.
There's a video of me talking to Ian Heacock that has fucking 26 million views, and I'm like 10 in it, okay, bro? And that's just my life, and it's been that way since as far as back as I can remember.
That's sick, right? Dude, I was a little shit.
No, it's not sick.
I've
I've had people on Reddit. Like, okay, there's one thing we were talking about. It was a Reddit comment like way back in the day. It was like 6 or 7 years ago, and they were talking about like who had seen YouTubers before they blew up. I'd worked with Smosh when they were still like pretty small, and I just typed that comment. I was like, yeah, I worked with them on a video, and it was cool because it was literally just a house in Sacramento that these two dudes lived out of and filmed every video out of. That's why if you watch any early Smosh video, it's all the fucking same place, because that's just where they lived and made content. And so I was like, I put that down in the paragraph, and it was like, yeah, it was a cool experience to see that. Dude, someone replied with, I found the Faduck kid. What the fuck?
Damn, dude, you're famous.
I'll never forget that. It has stood in my head ever since that people knew me as the Faduck kid and, had no clue who I was or anything, any reference that I have my own content or anything like that. So,
dude,
that made me laugh.
The deep searches of TikTok.
Yes, I'm known as the Faduck kid.
Someone took a screenshot of that and they're like, I found him, guys. They're doing a, what is that, a fucking stitch where it's like the green screen stitch. They're like, I found him, boys. His name is Ryan Mafia. He has his own podcast.
It starts
boys.
like the big Google Earth, globe, and it points into where I live in Austin. It's like, whoa, what the fuck,
Or it's like
bro?
one of those guys that
Chill
does
out
like
with that.
that's like a monotone. He's like, Do you
Rainbow.
remember? Do you remember this person off Smosh? Here he is now. And then it's like, it shows like
crack needle him out.
yeah,
Heroin down, right? Because that's how those always end. Like, here he is now, just fucking tying off. Like, oh shit, I didn't know you guys were filming today.
Oh yeah, but dude, honestly, that's sick. Like, I think that people who I think now we're in the day and age where
I think that's sick. Heroin is sick, Ash.
I was mostly thinking. I was mostly talking about.
That's how you meant. The context sounded funny though.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
My brain be bouncing around like a goddamn ping pong ball.
Squirrel. It's okay.
It's the ADHD.
Yeah, dude. We were talking about therapy, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck do I talk about? Well, here we go.
It's okay, buddy. We can keep moving forward. I'm glad we talked about esports a bit because, like I said, I was watching a lot of that.
It's like ingrained in
fucking Halos last weekend. We got a COD major this weekend. There is going to be a Counter-Strike major, like world major, happening for the first time in America in Austin later this year. I've looked into tickets. They're $800 for the last row for the 2 fucking weekend dates, not even for the full 4-day tournament. So, may not be able to go to that one, which would be a little disappointing. But yeah, guys, that was esports. We talked about esports for quite a lot. I really wish that Tom would take some notes from them because there's a lot of things they do right that I think paintball could learn from.
Maybe that's what we got to do.
Boys, can we talk about All That Matters? Because we brought it up a little bit there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is released for public now, so if you still haven't seen it, I really do beg you. It is free now. Just go over to MafiaProductions YouTube. It is released in 4K over there. Please watch it on 4K. Watch it on the biggest screen you can with the biggest speaker sound setup that you can, and just enjoy it. Please, that is all I ask of you. Everyone who has done so has enjoyed their time and has not come back with any complaints. So just fucking go do it already. Hatch, you said you showed All That Matters to someone who is not doesn't know about paintball. I'm guessing this isn't even like Tegan, because Tegan's starting to pick it up now. So dude, is this like another?
She is obviously has a way bigger brain than I do. So she knows the game of paintball way better than I do now at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's always a dumb one and a smart one in a relationship.
You know what I'm saying?
She's making the breakout.
Yeah, it is Tegan.
I'm like, what? I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, what time do we play? She's like 7 a.m. I'm like, oh shit.
She's doing spread calculations. She's like, you gotta win by 2. Win by 2.
No bullshit. She knows. She's like, actually, well, if you guys, like the Sunday brackets, like this team could make it in if they win this match. And I'm like, oh my god, what did I do? What did I do to her?
How do you know? You read the rule book last night. What the fuck?
Right. She has that special type of autism.
Oh, you work in the medical field. You're a smart person.
Yeah, she has that special type of autism where when she locks in on something, she's like fully invested. And
chat, is this locked in?
She loves paintball now. It's actually awesome to see. But
there you go. She turned another one. So, but who'd you show it to?
So I showed it to one of my friends. That dude's so funny. I was talking about this recently with Todd Martinez podcast and like how I got rekindled with my friend. Right, me and my friend mended our relationship, and I showed him who he never played paintball. Right, we were watching All That Matters. He was like, dude, can you like pause it whenever I say and like and I explain things so I can kind of like understand?
Can I get the director's commentary?
Yeah, because he just I'm a kind of guy where I talk a lot, and he had a lot of questions. Well, I'm on a podcast, baby. What do you expect?
Guys, we have a 2.5-hour podcast with a 30-minute bonus show every week, and you think you don't talk a lot?
No,
come on, man.
It's like, all right, Hatch, what do you think about this layout? Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
No, that's the first 5 minutes of the show. Then you come out of your shell.
Yeah, and then so we were basically breaking it down and stuff, and I was basically telling him, I was like, yeah. So I was telling him that, Ryan, you were on it, and I was like, dude, some of these cameras that they're using are insane. And I was showing him like the specific shots. I was like, these shots are like from the broadcast, you can kind of tell by this, and these shots are the ones with like crazy cameras because you could just tell.
Yeah, red footage just looks different.
Yeah,
some people don't like it because of that, because it is really easy to tell it's red footage. It's very crisp, it's very clear, it's very sharp. Whereas some people like other
dude, it's too
cinematics
good
better.
For me. It's too good for me.
You're being sarcastic, but there are directors in Hollywood who won't use reds because of that fact. They'll prefer to use other digital sensors because they give more of that film type look, whereas reds are very. Like, if you go through and watch All That Matters again and look for that now, you'll see shots that are like
100%
fucking crispy crisp.
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh my god. And that's because that was filmed in 8K at 400 frames a second on a goddamn raw Super 35 sensor. It's $40,000 camera, motherfuckers. We put it on a paintball field.
There was a shot of Ryan Greenspan, bro. I could see every wrinkle Dead ass.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yep. You know
Also,
exactly
the ollie
which one I'm
shot, the
talking
water
about.
dropping off his fucking.
That was
That's
so crispy, bro.
Yeah,
Dude, I love
that's
that.
a red shot,
I
motherfucker.
rewinded it, and I was like, look how crispy the shot is. And it's like literally like it was so sick, dude. The mustache.
Dude.
Doink.
So
It was so cool.
I was laughing because I was looking through because I watched it again the other day. I pulled it up and it's on YouTube. So I was like, fuck it, we'll watch it again. It's
What
a
the
good
comments
piece.
say?
I like watching it. Dude, a lot of the clips in the intro are mine, bro.
Good
like
shit,
I was
bro.
looking through and I was like, mine. Oh wait, mine. Mine. Oh, that's another one of my. Oh, this whole section is just from my drive. Okay, now
That's
we're
a
on something
flex,
else.
bro.
Oh, that's a drone shot. That's cool. Okay, rundown shot. Oh, another one of my shots. And I was like, damn, and it does make me feel better. Because like I've said on this podcast before, there was times filming that where I was just kind of depressed, man. I was just on a camera filming a game for 40 minutes getting roasted, trying to film every point of one particular player. It wasn't necessarily always fun. We got some great shots. Obviously, the Ryan Greenspan dunking the one Bears player, spinning around, getting the other guy. That was one of my better shots that I got in that piece. When Mikey turns the corner on the uprising player, that whole exchange, that is all mine. There's a lot of like great things from that I remember getting that I was like, that's why I sat here and got shot by 40 paintballs, was so I could capture that moment so some motherfucker on YouTube could fucking be in their couch and be all excited when they see it.
And especially the intro, like it fucking hooks you.
Okay, so I was talking with Christopher Struck, one of our favorite podcast listeners. He always, he's always reaching out to us with the code word of the week. We appreciate Christopher. He messaged me about All That Matters because he checked it out for the first time when it came out on YouTube. He was mentioning the music in it, and I was like, man, I wish you saw the premiere cut. For the people who didn't see the premiere cut, they had to cut back on music licensing a lot. They were able to use some songs in that obviously they can't use on YouTube because they would have to pay a lot more higher fees for in a live production versus YouTube. Music licensing is complicated. The original intro song was "Give Me Fuel, Give Me Fire, Give Me That Which I Desire." That Metallica song, "Fuel." Man, you wanted to talk about just getting a shot in the fucking neck of adrenaline. That intro went so goddamn hard. Lux Eterna was originally later on in the piece. It was brought up to then, okay, that's a good, recovery of like another big hard-hitting metal Metallica song. And then the one that I'm really sad about, I think he did a good job bringing in another kind of old school weird song for it, was the mouse section.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the Pixies cut with "Where Is My Mind," it fit so well because you'd just been smacked in the face by metal for 30 minutes, and then all of a sudden you get to kind of the emotional characters, kind of the evil guy in it, and I'm using quotes there for our non-video watchers because that's kind of what they're building Mouse up as in that point. "Where Is My Mind" by the Pixies. When that hits, and all of a sudden it's like this tonal shift of not only the music is different, but now it's also the perspective of the bad guy. It really hit very hard. And of course, that's cutting room floor. To make things come out, sometimes things got to get cut. But yeah. So for those who missed out on the premiere, it was the best version of All That Matters, I do believe. And we got to see the 10-minute preview of Iron Kids, and I can't wait for that. And that's Dan's still working on it. He literally found like an Iron Kids master, beta max tape from like 95 the other day and posted on his story. I was like, oh my God, he's still finding old archival footage from these guys playing as a kid.
Yeah, but okay. So one of my favorite things about showing a complete noob what paintball was is he was like, when it was really slowed down, he was like, dude, I've never seen like people move their body like this, and I was like, a lot of people think that they could come out and just do this movement, but dude, it really is like a whole different like. You know how ballet is a whole different movement in itself, right? That no other athlete can really do ballet except for what are they called? Ballerinas?
Ballerina, yeah.
Right? So
and I will
like kind of the same thing.
You can do ballet technique. You just can't do it as well as them. All right? I was
100%.
forced to do ballet classes as a part of my dance scholarship in fucking high school, okay, man? You can do it, okay? And actually, fun fact, there's a lot of professional athletes that do take like yoga and ballet classes because of the flexibility and the fucking core strength and the shit. Like it makes all your accessory muscles also get big and strong. And when you're trying to move 250-pound men, you really need your small little insert muscle in your quad to also be working just as well as your quad, or else then your ACL breaks.
Yeah, you can't have any weak parts.
Dude, yoga's the hardest workout I've ever fucking done.
Yeah, go to a high yoga class.
Oh,
Have fun,
yeah.
fuckers. That shit will fucking hurt.
Yeah, fuck. Dude, I do.
My favorite
I
part of
start-
yoga is Shavasana.
God.
What?
I don't know them by
Shavasana.
names.
I don't know what Shavasana
That's
is.
the part where it's like you lay down at the very end.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, after I'm all dead and
Was
sweaty.
that
I'm
joke worth it?
like, no, that's a joke. That wasn't a joke. That's a legitimate thing.
All right. But yeah, guys. So what the fuck were we talking about
Oh,
there?
okay,
I
yeah,
should talk
so-
about Shavasana.
yeah, so-
You break my
sorry.
train of thought.
Sorry, so we'll go back to all that matters, right?
Yeah, we're talking
So,
about that.
It was just very interesting because he's like, okay, what are like this? He's like, I've seen this name before. Who is this person? He's like basically asked me to explain all the lore behind all these people and everything like that, and it was just really cool because and then he was like, because he obviously got me connected with Todd Martinez. He saw Todd in there, and he's like, oh shit, Todd, there he is.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah, Cash Money.
Yeah, it was really cool. I liked the little short bus reel we made with Todd. That was pretty cool.
Short post you made, by the way. Take credit for that. You did that. I did like that as well. I'm glad you got that out there. I know Todd enjoyed it, so that's cool. What I was gonna loop back because one of the things you were talking about there was like the technique in paintball. I do love when people who think paintball is still in the woods or they think it's still something that's not what it is today, and then I'm able to explain to them that no, Archie Barnes Jr. runs like a low 4-second 40.
He's an athlete.
And like Keith Brown and Axel Goldman also do it now. Like it's not just one person. Like these are actual legit athletes who probably could be doing another sport, at least at a collegiate level, if they dedicated their lives to that. But they decided to put a paintball marker in their hands and shoot at other people. And
that's
it's
just how
fucking
good
awesome
paintball
to
is.
watch.
That's just how good in paintball is because it's like when you get hooked, when you get bit by the bug, dude, there's no other feeling
Takes
that
over your
can-
life.
that can even come close to like the
No, there is.
adrenaline.
It's heroin.
Valid. And don't do heroin, kids.
That's still on the
Play
board.
paintball,
That's why we
not
play paintball.
Play
Still on the
paintball,
board.
not
Hold
heroin.
Shoot
Honestly,
paint,
paintball's
not
probably
heroin.
way more expensive than heroin.
Wait, no, shoot paint, not H. There you go.
Oh, I like that.
That's what the Dare line would tell us to do. We
the
all
only
let
H
that
you
fucker
should
down.
shoot is HK, baby. You know what I'm saying? By HK. That's all I'm saying.
They approve of that message.
That's what. Hell yeah.
Hey, speaking of HK's doing that card drop at the event, by the way.
Yeah.
Hatch.
What's up?
If you do not get me a pack of those goddamn cards, we are going to be throwing hands. I've already
All right, well-
talked to Kwitsky about it, so they know about it. Just please go get at least one pack of cards you can send to me out here in Texas, okay?
All
They
right,
look
so
awesome, and I need
Who
them.
do I got to talk to for that? I got to talk to Chrissy for that?
I can text Quincy and get a contact for you, but please just go over to the HK booth. And please grab me
Now
one of those.
Now I feel like I got it. Well, okay, luckily, the best benefit of playing semi-pro is you get to be there a day early to practice. Not everybody's there, so I might be able to get a little.
They drop on May the 4th. I'm not sure, but that's true too. Maybe I can, yeah. Because I know.
that?
So shout out about those background information. I actually have a little
Yeah,
bit from
Sunday.
Kwitsky here. Our boy Danny Lincoln did all the designs on those cards, so all fresh designs from him. I don't know exactly like what card stock or what type they're gonna look like yet, but they all are like kind of the HK Star Wars type. They have the May the 4th theme with them. Yeah, I'm hype about that. I had to text
Yeah, they
Quinn,
look
man. I was
sick.
like, dude, I fuck with this.
And
This is a dope idea.
There's signed ones, right? If I am correct, I think I saw some signed ones.
I mean, probably. That would make sense. Like as the chase cards put in packs. I want to say I saw a paintball trading card logo. I think this is a collaboration between them. I'm not fully sure, so don't know that.
I hope so.
100%. But it would make the most sense because Ryan obviously has the most knowledge on just trading
All of
cards
it
in
in
that
general, for
format
sure.
in our game, and how to even work with printers and stuff. I remember I was asking him about like chrome cards, like if we ever wanted to do something like that, like how much would that order be? And he was like, it's not even how much the order is. The machine doesn't even make sense to turn on unless you're printing 500,000. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's good to know. So like, we're not even close to that shit.
Damn.
Like, yeah, some of those, it's literally just volume. Like, we're not selling tops level shit yet. So yeah, some of that stuff will have to wait. But I do know Ryan, he's doing cool things with the ones. I know I shout out Cal Owen. He had the signed Scott Stew base card. He had the hollow variant. Love that.
Sick.
But yeah, man, dude, I love cardboard. It's the fucking best, bro.
Yeah, baby.
Cardboard. Man.
Dude, I love cardboard. It's the shit.
I have a hollow pile.
Speaking of cardboard, Brando, how's your car doing?
Fucking hate car shit. You know,
Is it made of cardboard right now?
it feels like it. Yeah, goddamn. No, so the past. This is part of the reason why I didn't go out Saturday for the impact practice.
I would have picked
The
you up.
past, no, not about that.
Call Enterprise, they'll pick you up.
The past, like month and a half, 2 months, I've been dealing with a coolant leak in my car, and it's
Did
leaking.
you tell it to stop?
Yeah, hey buddy, I put some duct tape on it and whatever.
Try turning it on and off again.
You gotta say please next time.
Oh, not the. I called it some names.
Yeah, you gotta say, hey, please, and then spank
You know, depending on your car, it may like that. It may be a submissive car. It may like being called a dirty little radiator.
Well, it's my car, so of course it likes it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's true. Yeah.
I beat it up, So
I'll beat
but
up that exhaust pipe.
Dude, it's leaking. It's overheating. Every time it overheats, I have a bottle of coolant in my trunk. So I just pull over, I turn it off, fill it up, wait 5-10 minutes. All right, cool. Turn it back on, and we're good to go. We fill it up in another week, whatever.
Dude, you sound like this was Scott Lopez with his old car before Drinking Bros bought him his Kia Soul. He would drive to places and then the transmission would overheat and then he would have to wait for the transmission to cool down to be able to like limp back to his house. And I can't imagine.
God damn it, dude. I hate dealing with car shit. I really do. I'm not a car guy at all.
Some serious anxiety, bro. Shit will kill you sometimes.
Just give me a fucking car that works, please. Like that's all I want.
This is why, see guys, come to Austin. I now have a 2-ton. 2-ton is a mechanic, and he has a lift in his shop. I was quoted by Midas Brakes about it was like $600 to fix my rear light and to fix my parking brake. I brought it over to 2-ton shop. We put in a $40 part in Amazon that works for the rear light, and we fixed the brakes by literally just clicking the thing and like adjusting it. I shit you not, that's how I got my car inspected and to pass in Austin. So you need a 2-ton in your life.
I love 2-ton.
I ain't got a 2-ton here. Maybe
I know, but come to Texas, we got 2 tons, and 2 tons are great. I fucking love Tanner, man. One of my favorite people here.
He'll be awake by the post show.
No, he'll be up. You can call him 100%.
Yeah. So, finally, it was like Thursday last week. We're driving. We picked over up. We're gonna go to the store, and it overheats. And I pull off on the side of the road, turn it off.
And now you got Michelle in the car, and so it's even more embarrassing. Someone else is gonna come and steal your girl because you got car troubles, and
their radiator ain't leaking.
Yeah, and you're insecure, and yeah.
God
Crazy.
damn it, dude. My dog's gonna leave me too.
No.
No, the dog won't, actually. You can't talk shit about dogs. Dova will be with you until you're dead, and then he'll eat you after you're dead, but not until you're dead.
Yeah, he'll feel bad about it.
He'll do it only when he's starving.
They say dogs will wait at least like 5 days.
No, they do. 100%. Dogs do wait. Cats, they start instantly.
They're like,
people who
"Hey,
have cats,
5
their bodies are found
minutes."
mutilated by their cats. Yeah. Where your
shit's
dog
insane.
will literally, it'll be to the point where they're like, I'm dying of starvation and now I'm a wild animal. You're meat. I'm eating you.
I forgot who it was. There was one apparently famous couple that just died in LA in their home not that long ago, and their dog was still there for
was it Gene Hackman?
Hackman.
Was
Yes.
it his? Yeah.
And their dog was there for
Can
multiple days.
Gene Hackman doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve us talking about this death. He lived a better life than that. Can we not bring this back up in
I was
public?
mostly talking about the loyalty of the dog,
Shh.
But yeah, dogs are loyal.
He died a great man. Okay, he died an honorable death. We don't talk about Gene Hackman like that.
It's okay.
That's a legend of the game. But yeah,
speaking of deaths, dude,
your
I think the
car
Pope- we lost
last
the Pope.
Thursday. We
We'll
haven't
get to
let
the Pope.
Brandon
We'll get
finish
to the
his
Pope.
fucking
We'll get to
story
the
yet,
Pope.
Hash. We can talk about the Pope in a goddamn minute. Shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. Thank you.
Sorry, my bad.
So the bitch overheats. I fill it up.
Michelle or the car? Sorry, my bad.
I fill it up, let it
both
sit
overheated.
5-10 minutes, whatever. Turn it on, and we start driving down the road, and it fucking starts to overheat again. I'm like, what the fuck? All right, turn it off again. Check it. Yeah, I filled it. Cool. Turn it on. Overheats. I'm like, all right, this ain't good.
Something's fucked now. Yeah,
something's fucked. So right there, I scheduled to drop my car Friday morning, and at Hyundai, and I do so, and let
it
them
gets
know.
stolen because it's a Hyundai.
Yeah, whatever. I let them know what's up. They're like, all right, cool. We'll check it out. We'll give you a call later. Go to work Friday. They call me and they're like, hey, Actually, no. I called in. That's right. When did this? No,
Get
this
your
happened-
story straight.
Whatever,
Come on, get
whatever.
the story
I called
straight.
in. I called in
Need
to
more
work
accuracy.
because I didn't have a. I didn't.
Fucking it up. You're losing
go.
the attention span.
I know, my
hey,
bad.
shiny.
And they called me back a couple hours later, like, hey, it's leaking in 2 places. Got to get that replaced. Also, my brakes, which I knew I was going to need new brakes soon. One of my calipers on my passenger side.
Oh, is it leaking?
The front brake. No, they said it's whatever. It's pinched or whatever. That one is worn more than everything else, which I knew I was going to need new brakes soon, anyways. So
Wait, front left or front right?
My front right, the passenger.
Front right. Dog, stop at red lights, bro. That's what that means. It means you're coming into red lights way too fast, and then your brakes are now, the inside wheel is trying to stop your car as you're trying to push around the turn.
Michelle like makes fun of me for braking too soon.
No,
I
all right,
easily
maybe
do it.
it's the car.
No, that's
Yeah,
great.
it's
Do you guys
Maybelline.
break?
Yeah, they speed up.
Yeah, hey, Hatch. Formula One drivers, the most powerful part of their car is their brake.
For sure.
I'm not even joking. It's one of the most expensive parts of their cars. It's because it's a goddamn like carbon fiber ceramic piece because it has to stop a thing that's moving 300 kilometers an
The most
hour.
important thing probably in the car besides the fucking what is it? The halo?
The most heavy thing, or
No, one of the most important things.
no? I mean, brakes are they're important, but that V6 hybrid engine is pretty damn important too.
A Prius could run it. No, I'm just kidding.
I would like to see a Prius versus like the modern RB. I think it's 27 or something, whatever model we're on. That would be cool.
Give the Prius like a 30-minute head start.
Yes, no, it could be that long. Like,
genuinely.
but I do want to see the Prius too with the dude in the suit and everything, like gloved up and everything, like on a closed course.
That would be fucking sick.
He's getting because they have that hybrid, so he's getting like brake harvesting as he's going downhill. He's like, it's slowing me down, but it helps on the straights.
It's very eco-friendly. Save it the planet.
The F1 car is just like,
Yeah, just passing it ever, forever.
ever increasing odds.
A very silent car.
That sounds like somebody who's watched a lot of Formula One, Hatch. But yes, Brandon, so your brakes are going out, the front left and front right, it's all fucked up.
Yeah, whatever. So gonna change that. That part needs 2 days to come in. They don't have that on hand, so I'm like, all right, whatever. They said I'll be able to pick it up Monday morning. I'm like, well, I leave for Mexico Monday morning. How about Thursday morning? They're like, cool, that's fine. So
They're like, sick, we're not gonna order your parts now.
dude, fuck.
Is that what they did?
No. So I get there Thursday morning.
Brandon, I worked at the
They
service
probably didn't
department,
have the
man.
part that day. They're like, ooh, well. They're looking at the time.
So this is what they tell me.
Part of my job at Land Rover was working with service riders. I know the type of shady shit that goes down.
Dude, I get there. I'm the first one there. Michelle drops me off. She heads to work, and I gotta be at work.
Left.
I gotta be at work in an hour. So I'm there. Hey, this is the car I'm here for, and like they spend 10 minutes on the computer. The shit's done, isn't it? Isn't the shit done? Like, what the fuck? Let me pay and get my car. And he says, actually, we replaced him, but the test drive on Monday that they did, the brakes locked up again, so they reordered the part, and it won't be in until Thursday morning. I'm like, so in like a couple hours? They're like, yeah, so it'll be ready this afternoon to be picked up. So I'm like, dude, what the? And my look, I didn't say anything. I guess my look that I gave him was like, I'm fucked. He goes, are you stranded here? I'm like,
exacerbated look of like,
yeah, I'm stranded here. What the fuck do you mean? Like, yes. He goes, okay, I'll get you out. Don't worry, I got you. So he gives me a car free of cost. Thank God.
Did you get a loaner? Thank God. I was gonna say, like, this is the nice thing about when you have a luxury car. They make sure you get a loaner car if it's gonna be like more than a couple days. Because that's built into the profit margin a little bit more. Whereas like a Hyundai, it's a little harder to get one.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Yeah, god damn it, asshole.
Brando, you may think you didn't say anything, but realistically, you're like,
hey, Brandon.
and then the guy's like, damn, you need a ride, buddy?
Hey, Brandon. Just, if I was on Yelp per se, and I just wanted to look up the reviews of maybe the place that you went to, where could I do that? What would be the name of the Hyundai dealership that you went to?
Oh, if anyone just was curious on
Maybe there was just, they wanted to go check it out for themselves,
yeah,
let
if
them
anyone
know
lives
that.
nearby by the Stockton Hyundai.
Do you know who the dealership owner was? Do you know what the?
Yeah, his name
Greg.
it slips me.
If you wanna pull that up real quick, because I know a lot of people in our audience would probably like a place where they could go find some more information about this very shitty Hyundai dealership and maybe be able to leave a review about, just some of the bad things that they did to them and their time at the Hyundai dealership.
Yeah, if anyone else ever, God forbid, goes there and
yes,
something happens.
Only for people who do go to the Hyundai dealership in Stockton.
Yep.
To get their car serviced.
Should leave a review at which website, Brandon?
I'll tell you once it loads.
God, you're horrible at your job, Jamie.
Dude,
God damn it.
you gotta remember, dude. Rivers, what we're doing right now is pulling all of his internet power to where he can't look it up.
It really is.
He's rocking the 1 bar Xbox 360 internet.
Dude, this is when you pull it up on your
Connection
phone
interrupted.
that's connected to the the network tower. Come on, bro. We got to be better than this.
Dude, the Wi-Fi is stronger than my regular phone connection out here.
Bro, do you live in Iraq? God damn, man.
It fucking feels like it. North Stockton, yeah, AT&T sucks out here.
Dude, you're out there in Alpharetta, Georgia with that internet, bro.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut. If you get that, you're a real sweet kid. All right, fam. Well, so that sucks, Brandon. You did get to work. Were you able to get your car after work?
Nope. No, I was.
You had to come right here.
I had to pick it up before 5.
Hatch, I already knew that, okay? What it was is
Sorry,
we're
I
doing
keep
a
forgetting.
podcast for an audience of people who don't know that information. So when
I
I'm
keep forgetting.
prompting Brandon to tell us more... All right, go,
you know,
Brandon.
Here's a therapy episode.
Raise your hand.
Okay. We
Raise
had
your
a
hand.
moment on Drinking Bros a couple weeks ago where one of our main hosts had a fight with the producer saying it's a podcasting 101 class around here. Hatch, this is my moment with you, buddy. Okay? Sometimes I'm gonna prompt things that I already know if it's for the fucking audience, bro. All right.
Forgot.
All right, there you go. Never forget that. Never goddamn forget that in my presence again, you motherfucking beautiful bastard.
We're learning.
God, let me get some of that flow. Shake that hair. Let me get some of that flow. God damn. All right, I'm
Be
reset.
careful. I'll shake the fucking headset off.
It gets too wild.
But
Brandon, so were you able to get your car after work?
well, no, I had to come here.
Oh my god, no fucking way! Holy shit!
Nah. I had to get it before 5 o'clock, but surgery ran late. I didn't get off till I don't know. I text you guys. I don't know, 5:30 or so.
It's like,
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was about 5:30 when I got done. No. So I got a car, which I don't know if you never said not to.
Hey.
I could have it overnight, but whatever.
So there's probably a low jack in it. Check the OBD2 slot. So find out wherever that is. There's probably a thing connected to that is like their main GPS tracker. That's what we use on the Land Rover ones. The problem is there's another low jack tracker on the car. If you can find and disable that, you have a free Honda, my friend.
What?
I don't know. I like my Honda, honestly. I can't, because my Honda has my cleats.
Damn, okay,
it has
now
mine.
you're locked in. Fuck,
It has-
now you can't get a free
Dude,
upgrade.
it has my cleats, it has Michelle's cleats, it has my pod pack, and it has my HK barrel kit in
Well,
there.
Brandon,
I need it.
Luckily, we're sponsored
you
by
do,
HK, so.
Brandon, you do live in Stockton. And as one of the greats on the internet of all time has once said, sometimes you got to burn the truck to make the truck payment. I'm just saying, maybe that car gets left out outside tonight and some YNs from the neighborhood show up and decide to go for a joyride. All right? That's all I'm saying, my dog. That could make sense in the 209.
Yeah, dude.
It
Slap
can.
a Kia logo on that bad boy and it'll be gone.
Yeah.
Hyundais, you could do it with those too. They were pretty easy to break into too.
I won't even
Just
lock
leave the
doors.
windows down. Make it easy for him.
Yeah. I mean, just
Hey,
No, the problem is you're gonna do that. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this is bait car, bro. This bait car's back. No, fuck this. We're not getting this shit."
Just
You guys ever
put a
see
sticky
bait
note on
car
the
from
window.
back in the day?
Not a bait car, but just get rid of the note.
Yeah,
There was like some Dateline NBC show where they would set up a car that was like, it had the keys in it, and then they just had a camera in there. There's this one clip of a dude who jumps into it, and he's like, I say dude, he's like 14, like he's a fucking teenager. He jumps in, robs the car, and he looks over, he sees the camera, and he's like, oh shit, this is bank car. Fuck, I knew it was the bank car, but hey, I'm gonna whip it anyways. He starts driving the car all around. He gets, they pull him over, he gets arrested and everything. But they run up to him on the scene, and he's like, hey, what's up, bank car? Y'all see me? I was driving that shit. It's one of my favorite fucking news clips of all time.
I like those pranks where it was like the bait bike, where it was like a bike with a rope attached
connected,
to the pole,
like fishing line, like high test fishing line.
Where they're like, oh shit, free bike. They're like pedaling away like crazy.
And then all of a sudden, boom.
They just like straight fall right on their face,
See,
scorpion style.
That is a prank where someone gets harmed. But I am okay with that person getting harmed because they have entered into something. Yes, they have crossed the line into that harm. I'm not okay with public pranks where you just fuck with people randomly, but that's one I can conclude. I can concede.
One of my... Go ahead, Brando.
Do you approve of the ones where people run up to cars with people in them and then windows down and throw in
like a briefcase,
a suitcase or something? Yeah, and, like,
I knew you were going there. No, I don't. All right, that's a little fucked up. I'm gonna be honest. Yes, technically it's a victimless crime. No one's getting hurt. But that's how you get a Stanley heart attack type situation. You get someone who's some hypertension in his 60s who fucking dies early death because you threw a briefcase at him.
I like those pranks where they put the big old U-Hauls in the ghetto with like empty boxes in the back, but they're like, oh dude, there's stuff in the back. So they go in to grab the boxes out. The guys come out of the bushes behind, close the U-Haul door, and now they're just
and then they rape them.
Donuts in the
wait, what? Oh. Wait, what? Thank you, Ash. Good reaction.
They basically do like they're basically doing like donuts, and like the people are like, whoa, like freaking, like just getting thrashed around in the back of this U-Haul. So
sorry, I thought we were talking about Clockwork Orange. My bad, boys.
Yeah, we were. I mean,
do you know that movie, Hatch?
Totally.
He doesn't know, Brando. He doesn't know.
Is that another movie I gotta watch?
Yes. You and Tegan should watch Clockwork Orange together and look up nothing about it prior.
All right. What's it on?
It's an older movie. I don't know what it would be on.
Let's see.
Please.
I got you.
If this is something that you guys could do this week, that would be amazing content to report back to you next week. We have a short week in between our next episode, but that would still be really cool.
Let me see I'll see what I can do.
$4 on YouTube.
Too much. Too much. $4.
$4 on YouTube.
God.
Hatch, I will Venmo you the $4.
Dude, I'm waiting for free with ads, baby.
This is content. Brandon, you backing me up. This is content to see Hatch's brain as he comes in next week. Like, what did you guys make me watch?
How long is this movie?
I don't know, Brandon.
Have you 28 weeks later, 28 years later?
I want to see that movie so bad.
Yeah, the longer one. You never told me the duration of the fucking.
Sorry, I like in the middle of watching it.
No, we're talking
2
about
hours 60 minutes. 2 hours 60 minutes.
2 hours 60 minutes.
Damn.
Okay, yeah, it's a little bit longer. When did that come out? 1971. Yeah.
71.
Yeah.
It's a Stanley Kubrick movie.
Holds up.
It's a beautiful movie
black
that
and
you
white?
should watch.
No.
Nope, it's in color.
Nice.
It's got an 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb. That should tell you a lot. Out of 910,000 reviews.
Wow. Okay.
It's a lot of people who think it's pretty highly rated.
That sounds like it for sure. I don't want to look up any reviews or anything.
And I swear to God, if anyone in our comment section who has seen this movie spoils it for Hatch, I will be upset. Let him have this genuinely. Do not spoil this for him. This is like you not having seen The Lord of the Rings before. You get to go watch this for the first time. Enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't even. I'm so confused on like what like the setting of the movie even is.
Don't worry about it. Just
don't worry about it. Yep.
Right.
You just got to go into it. It's gonna be one of those things.
It's very scary. Now I'm very scared.
Oh
so.
my God. No.
Is it like a scary movie?
No,
not scary. Not like horror. No.
Is it like The Hills Have Eyes?
No, just watch the
I wouldn't give that either. No.
It's
a Stanley Kubrick movie, so there is some tension to it, and he does those.
Kubrick, bro?
He made The Shining.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
He directed the moon landing. How do you not know who Stanley Kubrick is?
So
Come on,
moon
bro.
landing was faked?
Oh
my God. Fucking
what? Brandon,
that's like the fourth time we've simultaneously facepalmed to something Hatch has said on this podcast, bro. And if I had a nickel for every time that happens, it wouldn't be a lot, but it's weird it's 4.
Yeah,
You trade it in for a quarter, probably.
almost.
Well,
At this point,
a
almost.
quarter is 5 nickels, Hatch.
I'm
But you're
saying.
close.
Right?
You're close, buddy.
You wouldn't have very many, but
Jesus.
at least 5.
Yeah, Brando, look at my text.
Oh, come on. Now you keep me in the dark. Fuck you guys.
No, but
Yeah.
he had to see that part. He had to
Fuck
see
you
that part.
guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right, boys. We talked about most of the things we wanted to get into. There was one more thing on this list we haven't talked about, and it was one of the more serious things. So I figured we'd leave it towards the end. Hatch, you had a real life moment you wanted to talk about on the podcast?
It wasn't really a real life moment. I was just saying like just some stuff that.
Don't tell me that. You literally said it's a real life moment I want to talk about on the pod. So
What,
that's
what
what
I mean
I
by
wrote
that
down.
is like it happened in real life. It's not paintball related.
I swear to God, you like to fuck me. All right, real life moment. Thank you, Hatch.
Dude, you guys see that Katy Perry went to space? Dude, that shit had me dead, bro.
That is what it was.
That shit had me dead.
Dude, I
also,
talked
the
about this on
Pope's
a
dead.
pod a week ago. I made
Also-
a thumbnail over 7 days ago
Also
with this
the pod-
image on it.
dude.
Are you kidding me?
I'm a day late. I was like a day late.
And $1 short, my man.
Hey, but okay. Now the Pope's dead. That's pretty recent.
The post edit that's more recent. Yeah,
You know?
and JD Vance did it, and we talked about that on another show I did on the other
Cue
podcast I work
cue
on.
the shit with Dave Skylark from the interview. Hey,
Yes.
Dave Skylark. The rice and strip got him.
That's the other thing. So as the show's been going on, I've actually been working my other job. On my other monitor, my podcast company is actively doing a live show for the NFL draft. So I've been monitoring the chat for that and taking place in that. So if I've been distracted at times during the pod, I apologize, guys. But I did have, speaking of stuff that we could actually talk about, not fucking random pop culture things. Thank you, Hatch.
Hey, it's fun.
Mike Ryan actually sent us a text. Another one of our almost day one supporters over here
that
on the
guy.
pod. We appreciate Mike's support on the show, one of our Patreons. And he was just wondering how I was doing over at work with the podcast stuff. And I figured, hey, I'd give a little update because it's been a couple weeks since I've talked about it. I've been doing good over at Tetherball Media, fitting right in, just, day to day getting stuff done over there, doing clips, thumbnails, social media content. There is a potential that I will have to fly out to Kentucky next weekend to do a live show with them out there. It sounds like that's still up in the air. They're deciding where, if they're going to do a live show and all that stuff. But yeah, so it's been going good over there for, maybe the couple people who are interested. I know I haven't been talking much about it recently, but that's, mainly been because there's been, no news necessarily bad or good. But yeah, learning, I was talking with Hatch a little bit the other day, like learning some of the bigger tips that they use over at their show to try and, help bring over here and trickle down stuff. And that's hilarious. The live feed actually ended. So hell yeah. And there's my thumbnail I made for it. Yeah, it's been going good. For people who maybe haven't heard those shows, Drinking Bros, that's the name of the podcast that I work for now in my day to day, which is why you've been seeing less content for paintball and stuff like that. Still doing it, honestly, when I feel like doing it now. And that's, for me, that's when I came into paintball. It was something I did for fun. For many years, it became the main source of how I make money and eat. And it's not anymore. And I'm very happy about that. I love paintball. I've been in it for a very long time. Working in the paintball industry as a main source of income is one of the most miserables I've been in my life. At the beginning of it, it was sick because a lot of it was coming from social media companies. When that went away, it was miserable. Paintball companies don't value media. They don't value us as media people. They don't value our time. They don't value our talent. And the reason being is because there's always someone next up. If we give a quote that's too big, they're going to give the opportunity to the next person down the way. They don't give a shit that their media is not nearly as good as ours. They're just going to do it because they're a cheaper cost. This has happened to multiple people who will never talk about it because if they do, they'll be blackballed. But it makes me sad. I do think, and that's one of the reasons I'm glad we had Alex on the podcast. I think there's people who are coming into positions of power who are making it better for media and who are kind of giving more protections and help spreading us,
More
making us
recognition for
able
sure.
to, yeah, no, definitely. And I think that's big. And not gatekeeping, but I think the other thing that's big too is like paintball is grown off the backs of media. The reason paintball has survived as long as it has is because we got very lucky and just randomly happened to have some amazing documentarians in it when it started. I mean, yes, paintball always was going to have a core audience who played it and loved it. But that boom of the 2000s doesn't happen without Patrick Spohr. It doesn't happen without Dan Napoli. It doesn't happen without Brian Bahini. It doesn't happen without all these guys who, with really shitty quality equipment compared to what we have today, captured this incredibly hard thing to capture. They did it with fucking film at times. And, you know, those guys, they get credit and recognition now, but at the time, they didn't. It was kind of taken for granted that, yeah, we're always going to have this. We're always going to have this media talent in our game. And I think, you know, yes, there might be that, but I think there's a lot of guys like me. You know, I'm now kind of like a Cassidy. I came in, I developed a lot of skills in this game. I developed a lot of connections in this game. And now I'm hopefully going to move into a career where I can make a living for myself that has nothing to do with paintball. So that way I can go back to it being a hobby and something I love to enjoy.
And the thing is, luckily about
because doing this as a job is miserable.
For sure, right? And that's why paintball.
You fuckers break our equipment constantly. We have like traveling everywhere sucks. Just everything about it is goddamn a job. And then when no one wants to pay you for it, it makes it even worse.
That's the hard part, is when nobody wants to pay you for it. For me personally, I'm just a player, right? But I love getting the game out there to as many people as I possibly can, you know.
And there's always going to be different people. Like there's groups of guys who I've given a quote to, and they have never questioned me. It's always been, okay, that's what you charge. That's what we're going to pay. And like I, you know, there's people in this game who I will always respect for how they've treated me in professional standings. One of those is Alex Frazier. I will never talk about that man, or, you know, how he holds his businesses. So, you know, I want to put that out there before any rumors start to fly about Hormesis or anything like that. It was not them. So, you know, it's just one of those things that I do think the patrons of paintball need to hear about more and more. And I think it's something they are hearing about more and more, as more media people are getting voices in this sport. You know, not just this podcast, but, you know, there's other big podcasts out there that are not just, you know, the top pros in the sport. Yeah, we have the PTGs, the Spick and Spans, but we also got In the Pits. You know, we've also got fucking the stuff Clint's doing. And
Center 50, dude. That's one of my favorite
Center 50. Stuff we're doing as well, but we're also bringing on other voices that aren't usually on those mainstay pods. And I think those are great for the player's perspective. I think if you're a podcast paintball player, you'll definitely probably enjoy some of those pods, maybe more than ours. But I just think for a general awareness of, you know, I hate using this term, but how the sport can grow, it's good things that everyone needs to kind of have knowledge on.
Absolutely. And it's like, it's nice for, at least for us, to get them out of that paintball shell, to get, like, I always when I was with
out of the shell. I like that.
I was like, so the analogy I use with Clint is, dude, where like they come on with this armor, right? And it's like being vulnerable is never really like a thing, right? To where it's like, we like to, you know, battle it out, you know, chip off a little bit of the armor to where we get to see them, what it's like outside of paintball. You know, and ask them questions that, you know, no one else is going to ask them. You know, who the fuck, what other podcast asks them bloodlusted questions? I want a name. I want a fucking name.
No, it's true. Who else is asking Todd Martinez about how many donuts he wants to eat?
Yeah, dude. Shit, dude. I need to throw that shit on the post show, dude. And we can throw that up on the post show.
Throw it up. Did you save the video? Make it an Instagram post. Make
Okay,
an Instagram post.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hell
Just
yeah,
say, like, we were going to ask Todd this question, but we ran out of time.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna do that.
There you go. Come on, Hatch.
Okay, sweet.
More ideas. But yeah, guys, so that was kind of my one serious note I wanted to talk about tonight. And I don't like doing those. But for me personally, life's been going, you know, very good recently. The job's definitely been helping out with that. And, you know, and I know there was a couple people out there, probably not all of you, but a couple people out there who are curious. So wanted to give you guys an update. It's been going good. And I got my fucking AC fixed today. So let's goddamn go.
There we go.
Fucking it. I was like, all right, something's got to be wrong here. So I put in a maintenance request last week. A dude finally came out today. They figured out my compressor wasn't working. They got it, you know, fixed up. It is now 75 in here. It's so much better than goddamn 83 that it was all fucking last month. So
brutal, bro. Anything over 78 is brutal.
Everything in life is getting good. I'm okay with 75, and I don't want to pay a $400 power bill. So you know, that's a compromise I can make with myself. But at least I get to decide
75,
now.
that's comfy. 75 is comfy.
Man,
No, I know, but there's people who are like, it's gotta be 70. If it ain't 70, it ain't cold. I'm like, you like paying a lot of money for power.
I use 69 because funny number.
I will say, this is the first time like my AC isn't running right now, and it's like cool in here. This is an experience, boys. This is wild. I thought Texas, you just had to be sweaty all the time. I thought that was just normal down here.
That's Florida.
Man,
No, that's text if you walk outside.
dude,
Okay.
was it getting humid in there too without the AC?
No,
Musty.
not
No.
not like humid really. I mean, yeah, I have fans and shit in here that draw out like humidity and stuff. Like when I take a shower, so it wasn't like that was just sitting in here and like getting all muggy. The other thing too, I do try to keep the humidity low in here because I have trading cards, and
Yeah.
if the humidity gets high, those will bend and start to cause all problems. So I actively have dehumidifying solutions around all my cards because I like them and I don't want them to get damaged.
Big old safe.
I'm autistic as fuck, okay? Can you not know that?
It's okay.
I have pieces of cardboard in fucking sonic welded pieces of plastic to protect them and preserve their quality, okay? I'm not normal.
Some people have. I don't know what's another thing that some other people have.
Yeah, you shoot a person with a fake gun, all right? I don't want to hear you talk much.
I play fake war for sure.
Yeah, let's fucking wrap it up
Virtual
tonight,
fake
boys, because
war.
we did start a little late. We just hit the 2-hour mark. We might be a little shorter on the pod tonight, but it's kind of a weird week. Hey, as always, we got here. We got a podcast out for you guys. We will never miss an episode. We have never missed an episode. We're not going to do so tonight. So, cool guy of the week. Who's the cool guy of the week? Brando, Baird.
It is. He's Lucas Baird. Let me copy this really quick. Sorry, I was not on that.
Good.
This is one of the short kings. This is.
Is this why he's cool guy of the week? Because he's a short king? Is that honestly it?
5'5". All right, Lucas Baird. He won the national championship, right? 133 pounds for wrestling in college. Immediately goes up
I
to
see
his.
why you chose him now, Brandon.
Is
Say that again, because I cut over you.
This 5'5"
I love this.
Lucas Baird won the national championship in wrestling for college.
133 pound weight division.
133 pounds. Yes. After winning and announced the winner, he immediately ran over to his 6'3" girlfriend.
Dude, he is getting.
That's a king.
He is getting.
That man's got an 8-inch dick. I'm telling you right now.
No,
There's no
I'm
way.
saying
There's no way he does it.
he is getting the soul sucked out of him that night.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He is. He's
That
coming
is
back.
direct eye contact, soul sucking, and you're like,
dude,
what did I do to deserve this?
133 pounds. He's going down 100. He's going to 130.
Brandon's
tonight.
laughing because he relates. That's why.
He's going 133 pounds weigh in. He's going to 130 tonight.
Just sucking it all out. Yeah, dude, that is a. God,
Dude,
when you see
I
them hug,
love Instagram comments. The first comment, bro saved his
bloodline.
bloodline.
That is amazing, bro.
The one thing that'll suck is all of your kids being taller than you by the time they're like 12.
dude, but
Hey, we love that.
Imagine
we
he
love
is
that.
the dominant gene where
I tell you right now that man is packing some shit. Because if you're 5'5" and you're with a 6'3" girl, it's not because you're a funny dude.
or he is just that fucking funny.
Well, he
Nah,
also
he
did
just
just
knows
beat
how
the
to
shit
submit
out of
them.
many other 133-pound men and females. Funnily enough, they do find that attractive.
Now I look at it like this. Like if you're an ugly guy, you just got the main reason why to be funny is if you make them laugh, their eyes are closed because they're laughing so hard. Less time to look at you. Boom. There we go.
okay, all right, that's the science behind it,
That's the tip for if you're an ugly guy. Just be funny.
dude. She's like she looks.
And if you're
like a
ugly
normal-
and not funny,
Jesus.
give up. That's what I did.
Talk about now
Absolutely.
you're working at Drinking Bros. Tetherball Studios.
No, I know. That's why I gave up. No, but yeah. Also, I was laughing. Fucking shout out to Joe, Smiley Joe Photography. He watches the pod now. Appreciate him. He's
I
checking
got
it
some
out.
stickers. I got some Smiley Joe stickers right here.
Love you, Smiley Joe. One thing, Smiley Joe. Last week in the podcast, you were like, "Oh, Ryan, you matched, but you didn't show us. What the fuck, buddy?" Buddy, that's post-show content. And as these guys can both confirm, we did show that in the post-show. So if you are not watching the post-show
are we
on
gonna show?
patreon.com/Mafia_Productions, you are missing out on some of the best content that the FTS makes. Post-show is a 30-minute bonus-only episode that we do behind the paywall. It will never come out from behind the paywall. We talk about some crazy shit because we're able to over there.
Yep.
No YouTube moderation, nothing holding us back. So make sure you go check us out over there because we have more fun on the Patreon. You also get bonus episodes. You get access to this show early. And yeah, it's great. Go sign up for the Patreon.
Ryan shows everyone who he matches with on Grindr. So
Yep. Yeah, no, 100%. That's the only place I show that content. And yeah, all the Patreons know about it. They're good at keeping secrets. They've never let that one out of the bag. So, I'm a little upset Brandon did it right now, buddy. It's a little mean to you, but it happens.
Sorry, I thought everyone could tell.
We're past the 2 hour mark. This is like,
it's like only the real homies.
This is like level 55 before you're about to prestige to the post show.
Hey, by the way, guys, that's how you handle if someone calls you gay in real life. You amplify and accept, all right? That's how you win every social interaction. Thank you, Taylor Mercadurka. You taught me that. All right, boys, we also need a code word before we get out of here. Hatch, what is the code word of the week?
Let me get this straight first. Off. I thought we were gonna roast Katy Perry way more about being in space. So
yeah, no, don't give a single fuck about
that. The code word was making space. I don't know if you guys can see that. It was making space because I thought we were gonna go hard on Katy Perry.
You thought we were gonna have a blank space and we were gonna draw our name.
Yeah.
Hatch, this may be the first miss in the code word of the week. This may be the first one.
I was like, I wrote it down. And I'm like, damn.
Damn.
We're like an hour 45 into it. I'm like, fuck.
Hatch. Hey, next time, please just tell me some of your topic beforehand. I think it's just better for the whole show.
If I were to give any hint, you would have instantly know that I was talking about the Pope dying. I was talking about Katy Perry going to space.
But we don't
care about any of these things. I covered these things on RPR, Drinking Bros, and Drinking Bros Fake News. If you want to know my opinion on them, go over there.
That ain't FTS. I don't know.
Yeah, I've already talked about these topics. I don't want to talk about them anymore.
You got to teach me, bro. Remember, you're trickling down.
We are not a pop culture podcast. We are not a paintball podcast. We are a piece of shit podcast. So our code word of the week is make space. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, if you liked this piece of shit podcast, make sure you rate it on whatever podcast platform you're listening to, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Please leave the 5-star rating. It's simple. It's free to do. It helps promote us up in the algorithm, gets more people to listen to the show. And like I said, it's free to do. So I feel like that is an even trade. If you do want to support us more, you can also subscribe on those platforms. It's going to give you a notification when the next episode is live and ready to go. As I mentioned just a little bit ago, we do have the Patreon as well. Patreon.com/Mafia_Productions. Where the fuck my pen go? There it is. Patreon.com/Mafia_Productions. Head over there. Make sure you get signed up. As I mentioned, bonus content. Early versions of the show, ad-free versions of the show. It's if you appreciate watching from the sidelines, it is the place to be to make sure you get the best content from us. We also have our sponsors who help put the show on the air. Liquid IV, first and foremost, we love them. LiquidIV.com, promo code Mafia_Mafia, 20% off and free shipping over there. NECTR.energy, promo code MafiaProductions at NECTR.energy. Give yourself some energy pouches, get buzzed up. And then last but not least, Welts Clothing, weltsclothing.com, promo code FTS. Save yourself some money at checkout. Boys, that was episode number 143, which is fitting because it was only the three of us, just the girls. I had a fun time. Let's go ahead, get out of here, and get on into that post show. So, for Brando, Baird, for Stephen Hatch, my name is Ryan Mafia Moffat. As I just mentioned, this was podcast. This is from the sidelines, episode number 143. We're going to see you guys on the next one. Hatch, do that thing you do.
Bye.
See you guys later.